This broadcast of Kalamazoo Wings hockey is also brought to you by WSI Talent, Schupan & Sons, US Cryotherapy, Zemlick, and ECHL TV. It's game time. Let's head back to the press box. Here's the voice of the K-Wings, John Peterson.
We are ready for affiliation night here in Kalamazoo. The K-Wings hosting the Fort Wayne Komets. And after that impressive pregame ceremony featuring the opening video that the Vancouver Canucks use up there in British Columbia, and then a ceremonial puck drop featuring the winning jersey designer in our third annual fan design jersey contest, Kurt Gorecki, alongside the commissioner of the ECHL, Ryan Creelan. We are now ready for some hockey. Central Division battle, and this rivalry is renewed for a 7th meeting of 14 this year. Kalamazoo will skate right to left for our radio listeners in their navy blue affiliation-themed specialty jerseys with white and red trim. Fort Wayne will skate left to right in their white jerseys with orange and black trim. And we are underway here at Wings Event Center as it's dumped in around the Komets net. Dylan Ferguson came out to play it. Instead, it rolls up to the left point. It's held in by Catalyst. Dropped back in behind the net for Sadaway, who tips it into the right corner for Kyle Blaney. Blaney challenged in the corner by A.J. Jenks, the Fort Wayne center who started this game. Now Zach Diamantoni comes away with the puck, tries to feed it out into the high slot for Sadaway. That's broken up and cleared out to center by Matthew Bowdens. Into the Kalamazoo end. Bowdens gets around a hip check from Dunn. Centers one out front. And the deflection from Petruzzelli comes all the way over to the left wing side. It's played back behind the net by Sadaway, who's dumped by Jenks on the play. And now it works its way back out into the neutral zone again as Bowdens will try to just lift it down into the Kalamazoo corner and finish off a line change. 50 seconds into the game here, no score. Both teams getting their first change out of the way. Eric Catalyst with the puck behind his net, the veteran defenseman wearing the assistant captain A on his jersey. Ahead for Matty Icapelli, who pushes it up ice for Garrett Ross, his first game in a K-Wings jersey. Ross in behind the Fort Wayne net, takes a check as Taylor throws it through the crease and wide. Now Wilson down in the corner for Icapelli. Back up to Ben Wilson at the point. His shot's tipped just wide in front by Ross. Again, Garrett Ross was acquired in that trade with Jacksonville a couple weeks ago for futures. This is centered out front by Icapelli, or Taylor rather. Icapelli gets it to the line. Wilson plays it D to D for Edmondson, who shoots, tipped on goal by Ross, and the rebound was knocked off his stick in the slot. But two deflections in front of the net by Garrett Ross already, and Ferguson made the save for the Fort Wayne Komets. Down in the Kalamazoo end, Edmondson's the first to the puck, reverses it for Wilson, up the right wing for Icapelli, who skips it off the glass and out. And Kalamazoo will get a change. That third line will come on for the first time. Kalamazoo playing a man short tonight. We'll get into that in a moment. But again, a few too many injuries and illnesses affecting Kalamazoo at this time. Even with the addition of Ross into the lineup after completing his 3-game suspension that carried over from that trade with Jacksonville. Fort Wayne into the offensive zone. Taylor Ross, no relation. Brings it in, drops it off for Binkley. Jason Binkley shot's blocked by Kovacs. Comes back over to the right wing for Binkley, and it's led up to the point for Stephen Bayless. That's taken away by Luke Sandler and fed out to center for Kovacs. Now over to Adam Dauda, back to Kovacs and in across the line onside. Kovacs on the right wing, takes a check. The puck bounces back out to center. Kovacs has help from Connor Schmidt, and Schmidt just shoots it into the Fort Wayne zone. Binkley lost his stick, though. He just kicks it ahead with his skate and heads off the ice. Bryson Martin brings it through center, rips it in on goal. Jake Kiley makes the glove catch and drops it at the side of his net. Kiley getting the start for Kalamazoo tonight, the rookie out of Clarkson, a Vancouver Canucks prospect on affiliate night. Brought in by Dylan Sadaway now for Kalamazoo on the right wing. Threw it into the crease, and Ferguson steers it into the slot. The puck bounces towards the point and is now brought out to center by Anthony Petruzzelli, and he'll lift a backhander high in the air cross corner down into the Kalamazoo zone. Corey Dunn puts the pressure on. Centering pass comes out front. A.J. Jenks rips a one-timer and a right pad save by Kiley. 16:55 left in the first period. Brought back in by Blaney. Bouncing puck taken away, though, and carried out by Petruzzelli. Then in the skates of Wilson, Petruzzelli gets it back, rips it in on goal, and a blocker saved by Kiley, steering it over to the right wing boards. Ian Edmondson in his own zone. Plays it up the right wing, but the K-Wings were in the midst of a change. This will go all the way down. Icing is waved. And hustling after it is Justin Taylor in the offensive zone. Here's Icapelli, a wraparound, and he threw it through the crease, and now it's swatted over the top of the net. Icapelli centers off the skate of Ross, who's dumped in front of the cage as he's tangled up with Kyle Haas. Fort Wayne is able to lead it back out to center. It's McKenzie. Brett McKenzie into the offensive zone for Kalamazoo. He'll try to reverse it for Alan Lazarchuk. That's taken away by Ross. And Garrett Ross drops it back to Ben Wilson in his own end. Wilson plays it across the rink to the right wing side for Edmondson. He'll shoot it in around the net, and Ferguson stops the puck there. Ferguson plays it to his defense as Haas leads it out to center. It was actually Olivier Gallipo. Deflected all the way down by Lazarchik, but he wasn't quite at center ice yet. And we'll get an icing whistle here on Fort Wayne. With 15:59 left in the first period, Wings Event Center, Kalamazoo and Fort Wayne, no score. Garrett Ross, though, in his Kalamazoo Wings debut. Couple of chances in front of the net, battling hard, getting a couple of deflections. Again, he's got over 300 games of American Hockey League experience. And joining Kalamazoo, the Dearborn Heights, Michigan native, playing in his home state again after he was traded from Jacksonville for future considerations right before Christmas. Kalamazoo's third line back on the ice. Here's Adam Dauda. Sweeps it out front. That's picked off by Sean Sidlowski, who works his way back to center, lobs it high in the air as it bounces into the Kalamazoo slot, and it's knocked away from Gallipo by Connor Schmidt. Fed back up the right wing and passed along by Kovacs. It's carried in here by Dauda. Dauda looking out front, fires a shot that's blocked, and that caught somebody up high there in the circle. Looked like it was Doherty. Taylor Doherty, the 6'8" defenseman who Fort Wayne got in a trade earlier this year. They'll try to shake that one off. The puck wound up out of play. Tonight's scratches, by the way, for Kalamazoo, they're without Matt Van Voren, still with an injury. Brennan Sanford is out with an injury, as is Zach Fry. On injured reserve is Boston Lear, Zach Saar, and Tyler Ganley. And David Pope, even though he was sent down to Kalamazoo a couple days ago, he is still out of the lineup for the second straight night with an illness. So unfortunately, he was slotted to play tonight, but was a game-time decision and is still out with an illness, so he is not able to play. And that means Kalamazoo is playing a man short for the second straight night. Fort Wayne has a few scratches of their own we'll get to in a moment, but Jermaine Lowen will fire this one in on goal from outside the zone. It's a glove save by Kiley. He'll hold on to it, and the face-off will be to the right of Kalamazoo's rookie goaltender. 15:14 left in the first period. For Fort Wayne, they have 3 goalies on the roster, so one of them has to be a scratch. That's Patrick Munson. Also out on injured reserve is Brad Morrison. And out tonight, Gage Terrell and Shaquille Morasti, as well as Will Petschnig, who's on injured reserve, and Sean St. Amand is probably the biggest name out of the lineup for Fort Wayne. St. Amand, very good player, has won a Kelly Cup with the Colorado Eagles a couple years back. And he's kind of been a K-Wings killer this year as well. And St. Amand out of the lineup tonight for Fort Wayne. Brought up the left wing by Dylan Sadaway and out to center. No score here in the first period in Kalamazoo. Sadaway's shot's blocked by Binkley, who delivers a check behind the net. Up the right wing, it's turned over. Sadaway tries a shot, fanned on it. It bounces in front. Sadaway jams at it. 2 saves by Ferguson. And the whistle blows. I think either the net came off its moorings or our referee lost sight of the puck. But the fans don't like it as Kalamazoo still had possession in the offensive zone. Either way, when you lose sight of the puck, you have to blow it dead. That is what you're taught to do. And so Kalamazoo will get an offensive zone face-off. The referee, by the way, tonight is Steven Saylor. The linesmen are Christopher Williams and Logan Belgraff. It'll be a glove side face-off in front of Ferguson. It's a pretty good battle there in front, by the way. Sadaway had a couple of good chances at it. Ferguson lost his stick before the play was whistled down. Fort Wayne wins the draw. Kyle Haas wraps it around the boards, but it's held in by Dunn. His shot's tipped, deflected twice, and Ferguson has to make a save as it works its way into the far corner. Bowdens will skate away from pressure put on by Diamond Tony. Matthew Bowdens cuts through center into the Kalamazoo zone on the right wing side. Bowdens centers into the circle. Petruzzelli leads it to the line. Stewart's shot's blocked and kicks down in behind the net. And the K-Wings are able to work it up the left wing and out for Sadaway. Sadaway chips it up the boards for Diamond Tony. He's stood up by Stewart, and Haas will collect it in his own end, skating behind the Fort Wayne net and leading it up the left wing. Kalamazoo changing. This is turned over in the neutral zone by Fort Wayne as Taylor plays it back to Dunn, up the right wing for Ike Capelli, and backhanded in behind the Comet net. Ferguson will play it into the far corner. This is Matty Icapelli, former Western Michigan Bronco, muscles his way in behind the cage. Icapelli back into the right corner. Icapelli stick handling up to the half wall and now to the point as he circles the zone. Turns and fires through traffic, and a save by Ferguson with a collision in front. Ross was on the doorstep as he was checked by Kyle Haas. Now Stewart wraps it around the boards, held in by Edmondson. Edmondson fires and a glove save made by Ferguson. He'll hold on to it there, but Kalamazoo bringing the pressure here early in the first period. We have a timeout on the ice. No score here at Wings Event Center on affiliate night. 13:47 left in the first period. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan.
When you're getting ready for a move, look no further than Allied Van Lines. Their world-class crew of full-service movers will make sure your moving gets done quickly and carefully. Whether your next move is in residential transfer across the interstate or corporate relocation around the world, Allied's team knows exactly how to help. Get your free quote today by calling 269-345-6111.
Do you want the opportunity to create great memories with your friends without being tied to specific dates or times? Check out the Kalamazoo Wings Flexi Plans. With 12, 24, and 36 packs available, you can pick which games you want to attend and who you want to attend the games with. Starting at just $183, Flexi Packs give you the perks while enjoying hockey on your own time. For more information, call the K-Wings at 269-345-1125 or go online to kwings.com.
No score, 13:47 left in the first period here at Wings Event Center in Kalamazoo, Michigan. The K-Wings taking on the Fort Wayne Komets. Justin Taylor's line comes back out of the media timeout onto the ice, and Taylor will take this face-off. He's got a 3-game goal streak coming into tonight. All 3 games, those goals coming on the power play. Matty Icapelli can't quite hold the zone as it's pushed out to center by Lazarchuk. Fired back in, though, by Wilson, and Ferguson will stop it behind his net for Fort Wayne. Olivier Gallipeau lobs it out into the neutral zone. It's played across the rink for Sidlowski, carrying it into the Kalamazoo end, spinning and firing one wide of the Wings net. Edmondson up the right wing side, held in by Sidlowski again. This goes on goal, and Kiley decides to cover along his far post with 13:23 left here in the opening frame. Shots right now are 6-3 in favor of Kalamazoo. Dylan Ferguson has been the busier of the 2 goaltenders. Both contracted goalies with their respective NHL affiliates. Kiley with the Vancouver Canucks, Ferguson with the Vegas Golden Knights. Ferguson spent a little bit of time in the AHL with the Chicago Wolves this year. He's also been injured for part of the season. Kiley is basically rotated with Jake Hildebrand throughout the first third of the season in Kalamazoo. He makes a glove save here off of the Fort Wayne shot coming from Gallipeau at the left point. 13:19 left in the opening period. Now a blocker side face-off in front of Kiley. Taylor on to take it again against Brett McKenzie. McKenzie won it last time. Same 2 centermen. And they drop the puck here, and Fort Wayne wins another offensive zone draw. To the point, it's Gallipeau. His shot through a screen is blocked by Taylor. Taylor banks it off the right wing and out to center. Gallipeau in the neutral zone will sweep it over to Doherty on the right wing side, and he'll lob it all the way down cross corner into the Kalamazoo end. Edmondson's first to the puck, chips it up the boards for Wilson. His pass goes into a Fort Wayne skate, though, and it's turned over behind the net. Good recovery, though, by Wilson, helping it now over to the near side. And Icapelli's tied up with McKenzie as Wilson comes over to assist. Up at about the half wall, the battle continues. Icapelli gets it free, lifts it high in the air, and it catches the rafters here at Wings Event Center. 46-year-old building. That one caught one of the beams hanging overhead. Face-off will come back into the wing zone to the left of Kiley. Kalamazoo now will bring Sandler's line with Kovacs and Dauda onto the ice to face San Vito's line with Taylor Ross and Jermaine Lowen. Lowen is a Chicago Wolves AHL contracted player. Face-off won by Dauda. Played in behind the net by Schmidt. Led up the middle by Aaron Tho and out to center, but it's turned over there, and Lowen will push it back the other way. Good poke check, though, by Sandler in the neutral zone. Lowen battles to get it back, though, in front of the K-Wings bench. Lowen stays with it now, walking into the left circle, trying a shot that's blocked by Connor Schmidt. Lowen gets the puck back in the corner again. Top of the circle, San Vito. His shot's blocked by Tho and bounces out to center ice, and Kovacs hustles after it. Closed off by Bryson Martin, though, along the far boards. Brought in offside by Dauda, and the faceoff will come out into the neutral zone. Kovacs thought he was interfered with there as Bryson Martin checked him before he had a chance to get to that puck. It wasn't with possession of the puck. But Kovacs will now have to skate away back to the Kalamazoo bench. And it'll be a line change as Sadaway, Blaney, and Diamond Tony will come back on. Zach Diamond Tony essentially sliding into that right wing role held by Tanner Sorensen as of late. Those are big shoes to fill, but Diamond Tony's had a terrific second season as a pro here in Kalamazoo so far. Again, you can't really replace a Tanner Sorensen in the lineup, but certainly you can try to fill those shoes to the best of your abilities, and Diamond Tony's the guy. Not very many right shot wingers to choose from on this team, but Diamond Tony can play center as well if need be. A.J. Jenks in on the right wing for Fort Wayne. This shot's deflected high in the air and up into the netting, out of play. 11:53 left in the first, and the faceoff will stay in the Kalamazoo zone. Dylan Sadoway, fresh off of a hat trick last Friday before the holiday break, and a 6-5 come-from-behind win against the Cincinnati Cyclones in overtime. Sadoway scored his second goal at 3:51 remaining in the third. That's how late it was to make it 5-4. And then Sadoway tied the game at 5 with the goalie pulled with 48 seconds left to force overtime. It was a dramatic come-from-behind victory for Kalamazoo. Matty Aikapelli scored the game winner in overtime 4 minutes in, but Sadoway's hat trick was the second of his pro career. The other one came against Kalamazoo last February 17th when he was a member of the Toledo Walleye. Fort Wayne to the point. Here's Binkley. Fans on the wrist shot. Feeds it to the left circle. It was behind Martin. Scooped up by Diamond Tony in transition the other way. Right wing side. Diamond Tony into the Fort Wayne zone. Lobs it across the rink. Blaney will play the carom. Poke checked off his stick, though, by Martin. Stepping up from the point to pinch was Catalyst. Bryson Martin's able to wrap it out to center, though, but it will chase everybody down into the K-wing zone, and icing will be the call with 11:18 left in the first period. Back to Sadoway's hat trick, though, for a moment. Kalamazoo has allowed 2 hat tricks this year. In Cincinnati, November 22nd, John Wiedela scored that one. In Wheeling on December 6th, that was Brandon Hawkins who scored the hat trick. But Kalamazoo's first hat trick of the season came last Friday against the Cyclones, scored by Dylan Sadoway. There have been 27 hat tricks in the ECHL this year. Several teams have not recorded a hat trick yet, but there are 2 teams that have recorded 4 of them. Utah's one. We have a hand pass here called on Kalamazoo as the whistle blows. It would have been a great scoring chance from Matty Aikapelli, but Taylor knocked it down with his glove before Aikapelli touched up. So the hand pass will bring the face-off outside the zone. Utah has 4 hat tricks, and Brampton has the other 4. And then the rest of the 19 hat tricks are spread out throughout the league. Sadoway's also had a lot of success against this Fort Wayne Komets team this year. He has 8 points in 6 games, including 5 goals for Kalamazoo. He had 4 assists last night against Indy in the 7-3 victory. We have an icing call on Kalamazoo now as they won that face-off at the Fort Wayne blue line, but Wilson's pass does not connect, and it'll come all the way back down in front of Kiley with 11:07 left in the opening frame. On affiliate night here in Kalamazoo, some fans wearing some jerseys or colors from past affiliations as well, which is cool to see. It's a lot of history here in Kalamazoo, 46th year of K-Wings hockey. And for a while there, they were affiliated with the Minnesota North Stars and then the Dallas Stars when Minnesota moved down to Dallas. And so for a pretty lengthy period of time, Kalamazoo changed their color scheme to the same colors as the North Stars. Some fans have some of those old school retro, if you will, K-Wings jerseys on. Lob down into the K-Wings corner. First to the puck was Taylor. Behind the net now for Wilson, and up the right wing's Edmondson. Back across to Taylor onto his tape. Walks to the blue line. Tries a shot that's blocked by Haas and goes to the side of the cage. On the right wing, good pinch by the captain Wilson. Behind the net is Taylor. Threw it out front. Bouncing puck goes through the skates of Aikapelli, and Alan Lazarchik comes away with it for the Komets. Behind the net now, Haas turned it over up the middle. It's Garrett Ross. His shot, though, is blocked by Stewart and kicks back out into the neutral zone. Connor Schmidt up the right wing to Garrett Ross. Ross angles it down into the Fort Wayne corner, and Taylor will chase. Stewart's the first to the puck for Fort Wayne. Wraps it around the near boards for Taylor Ross. He gave it away, though, to Kovacs. Kovacs patiently waits. Saucers it across the rink, playing the carom of Schmidt. Centering it out front to Sandler, who had it knocked off his stick. And Aaron Tho keeps it in at the right point. Drops it down into the corner, but doesn't find Sandler. And instead, behind the net, it's thrown up the right wing and out by Stewart. Into the neutral zone. Taylor Ross had it poke checked away by Schmidt. Over on the far side, Stephen Bayless will dump it down into the Kalamazoo corner. Behind the net is Dauda. Reverses the puck to Kovacs, who chips it over to Schmidt. Schmidt skates back into his own end and then launches it up the right wing for Kovacs. Kovacs kicks it into the offensive zone, wrapped up by Gallipo, who shovels it ahead for Petruzzelli. He'll swing it across the rink for Jenks, and Jenks knocks it down into the Kalamazoo zone. First to the puck was Corey Dunn. Reverses it for Catalyst, but it's given away back into the corner and played up to the point for Taylor Doherty. His shot is blocked in front. Now a quick trigger by Bowdens and a save by Kiley, and the rebound was shoveled right through the crease by Petruzzelli. A blast from the left point goes wide. That was Gallipo. Doherty keeps it in on the right wing half wall. In behind the net, Catalyst skates away with it. Tries the right wing for Kovacs, tapped up the middle, and here's Dauda ahead without the numbers as the K-Wings change. Dauda just dumps it in behind the Fort Wayne net. 9:05 left in the first period, still 0-0 here at Wings Event Center. A.J. Jenks back through the middles, Petruzzelli, good poke check by Diamond Tony, and Gallipo recovers in the neutral zone. Olivier Gallipo trying to skate away from Zach Diamond Tony, heckling him all the way down into the Komets corner. Diamond Tony wraps him up down there. Coming in to help was Blaney. 2-on-2, and the third man in is Bryson Martin, and it goes in behind the net. Martin challenged by Blaney. Blaney lost his stick. Martin feeds it over to the right wing as it skipped high off the glass and out, and Ian Edmondson collects it for the K-Wings. D-to-D for Wilson. Up the right wing, it's Blaney. Deflected in behind the net. Ferguson will play it. Here's Blaney trying to catch him, sliding back into his crease, but that's blocked in front of the net. Blocked that time by McKenzie. Up to the point, it was in the skates of Wilson. Nobody can find it, and finally it slid out to center by Bowdens and brought ahead by McKenzie. Walking in left circle, chased by Wilson down into the corner. Behind the net, past Sidlowski. It's thrown back ahead, but in the skates of Sadaway. And we have a whistle here. And what's this call going to be? I think there might be an issue in the corner with a piece of glass or a stanchion. And that's why this play is whistled down with 8:06 left in the first period. Shots are 6-6. No score up on the board, as Fort Wayne and Kalamazoo have played quite a few high-scoring games. The fewest goals scored in a game combined between these two teams this year, 7. And that's happened twice in a 6-game season series so far. Fort Wayne has scored at least 4 goals in every single game against Kalamazoo. K-Wings have won once. That was a 6-4 win back on October 23rd. This shot's blocked by Sandler, and that one stung him as it's pushed out to center by Connor Schmidt. And Sandler's going to limp off the ice on a change. Again, remember, Kalamazoo is playing a man short. That was a drive right into the right leg, and hopefully Sandler's okay as it's dumped in behind the net by Binkley, and Jake Kiley will come out to play it. Up to the right point, Binkley keeps it in the zone. Feeds it in behind the net for San Vito. Left corner and up to the point for Bryson Martin, and they'll say he held the zone as it's dumped back down low and deflects up into the netting out of play with 7:39 left in the first period. So the face-off, it looks like will stay in the K-Wing zone to the right of Kiley. And again, Luke Sandler, he blocks a ton of shots, and he'll block it with anything. We heard from Boston Lear last weekend, who did some color commentary for us. Luke Sandler's a guy that will block any shot from anywhere with any part of his body. And that's sacrifice right there. But that time it was more just standing tall in front of a slap shot from the point. And from point blank, it caught him on the right leg. And obviously that doesn't feel very good. Sandler tries to shake it off over there on the Kalamazoo bench. Sadaway will rip it in around the Fort Wayne net. Right wing, it's Diamond Tony. In behind the cage, swatted around the boards by Chase Stewart. Held in by Corey Dunn, who skates down into the corner. That's knocked up into the air, back to the half-wall. Catalyst tries a shot. That's blocked by Petruzzelli and kicks back into the K-Wing zone. Kyle Blaney's back to retrieve. Chasing him the whole way is Bowdens. Blaney chips it up the boards on the back wall for Catalyst, who circles his net, and he'll lead it up the right wing for Diamond Tony, who deflects it ahead to the Fort Wayne blue line. D-to-D pass from Haas to Stewart, and up the right wing for Bowdens. Bowdens spun around on the play by Edmondson. Now dumps it into the K-Wing zone. Catalyst lifts it back ahead as it bounces through the neutral zone and rolls on edge into the Fort Wayne zone as Haas gets back to retrieve it. Haas goes D-to-D for Stewart. Up the right wing, it's deflected in by A.J. Jenks. And the puck rolls in behind the K-Wings net. First to the puck is Edmondson. 6:40 left in the first period. Still 0-0 here at Wings Event Center on affiliate night in Kalamazoo. Up the middle of the ice is Taylor. Taylor will cut ahead, sweeps a backhander over for Garrett Ross. Drops it off for Ike Capelli. Pulls the trigger, and a save made by Ferguson. Rebound sat in front of him for a moment, but Gallipo clears it out of harm's way. Held in at the point by Ian Edmondson. He'll try a wrister. One hops Ferguson, who makes another stop. Now on the far side, it's Ross. Tries to knock down a bouncing puck at the half wall. Gets it to the point with help from Ike Capelli. Here is Wilson trying a wrister. He flies it wide of the cage. Gallipo collects it behind the net, wraps it around the near side boards, and it trickles out to center with just over 6 minutes to play here in the first period. Still 0-0. Wilson launches it through the middle of the ice, bounces into the Fort Wayne zone. Gallipo will skate away from pressure and almost gave it right to Justin Taylor, but it's scooped up by Jermaine Lowen and wrapped across the rink for Doherty. Taylor Doherty will drop it down into the corner. Lowen will chase after it. Collision there as the puck goes off the back of the Kalamazoo net, and Kovacs finds it. Sweeps it in behind his cage for Wilson, who skates away from Bayless, changes his direction, pressured by two Fort Wayne forecheckers, and it's lifted off the glass and out by Aaron Tho. Poke check, though, by Bryson Martin at the Fort Wayne blue line, and followed up by Sandler. Right into the left circle. Sandler to the net, to his backhand, and he couldn't pull the trigger as Ferguson made the save, and then it rolls out front, and dumped on the play was Kovacs, and back the other way come the Komets 3-on-2. Into the Kalamazoo end. Good play by Tho. This pass came through to San Vito, and Kylie had to make the left pad save on the transition rush. Binkley, D-to-D for Martin. His shot's blocked by Kovacs. Down in the corner, it's Connor Schmidt. Scooped up behind the net now by Dowda. Over to the left wing, it's Tho. Lobbed high in the air, back out as it bounces at the K-Wings logo at center ice with under 5 minutes to play in the first period. Jenks right back in. Right wing Bowdens. Down into the corner. Bowden spins at the half wall. Bowdens is pressured by two K-Wings, gets it to the point for Stewart, who fires, and it's swallowed up by Kylie on that point blast from Chase Stewart. Timeout on the ice, still no score here in the first period. Wings Event Center, shots even at 7-7. We're back after this. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan. Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 32nd season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, official signage provider; ANR Sports, official hockey accessory supplier; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Risk and Insurance, and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2020 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Ephesus Lighting, the preferred lighting partner of the ECHL. The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider. Geico, official auto insurance of the ECHL. Handbit, the official mobile auction app. Honig's, the official partner of the ECHL officiating team. Howie's Hockey Tape, official hockey tape and lace provider. In Glasgow, official puck provider. Migrate Group, your source for game-worn jerseys. Ticket Galaxy, official ticket resale partner. And Warrior, official on-ice equipment provider of the ECHL. Catch all the live ECHL action in high definition by logging on to ECHL.tv. 4:45 left in the first period. You're at Wings Event Center, Kalamazoo, Michigan. Coming out of the final media timeout of the opening frame. Both goaltenders been tested a couple of times here in the opening period. Dylan Ferguson perhaps has seen a few more confusing type chances on deflections in front of his net and passes that have come through from behind the cage that have ricocheted off sticks and skates and you name it. But Ferguson has stood tall for Fort Wayne. Jake Kiley has made 7 saves at the other end. They did add 2 shots for Kalamazoo that had to be totaled up there during the break, so it's 9-7 of the shots in favor of the K-Wings. Fort Wayne wins the offensive zone draw, dumped in behind the net by Haas, scooped up back there by Blaney, and led up the right wing for Diamond Tony. He'll throw it across the rink for Sadoway, who catches it in stride. Left circle, Sadoway goes in behind the net, tries a wraparound. He scores! Sadoway celebrating, no signal yet, no light on. Ferguson's got it covered. And everybody celebrating in blue, as did the fans. A confusing one that's going to go to video review. Ferguson had it underneath him. The question is, did it go into the net? We're going to try to see here on the replay, but they did put video review in here at the ECHL level this year in every rink. And we're going to get our first look up here on the board. Oh, it's hard to tell. I don't think you can ever see the puck there, as Ferguson's body was on top of the entire goal line when it was wrapped towards the net. It wound up in the blue paint. So if anything, either a very good save by Ferguson or some gamesmanship if he was able to kind of sneak it back into the crease area. But on our initial replay, you can't tell one way or the other. So without signaling a goal on the ice, I don't think you can make that a goal call. Here it is again. And there's really no way to tell if it went in or not. So it's really up to the officials down on the ice level with the video review and the iPad. So we'll try to see it one more time here. But it was underneath Ferguson, whose whole body was on the goal line. Sadoway's wraparound, it wound up in the crease. But again, Ferguson's whole body was right across the goal line there. And that puck, the entire puck has to go across the goal line to be a goal, and I can't imagine them calling this one a goal here. I have a feeling it's going to be waved off simply for that reason, because there's really no way to tell from that best camera angle, which is the overhead view. The officials are still looking at it on the iPad in the penalty box. But this, folks, is why we have the video replay in this year, strictly for that reason, to see if the entire puck crossed the goal line. They can't review anything else. They can't review goalie interference or offside or anything like that. It's strictly if the puck crossed the goal line. and that's the best view you'll get is the overhead view. I know for those watching on ECHL TV, you haven't seen it yet, but perhaps after they make the call here, they'll show the replay. We have access to the replay system in the building up here in our press box where we can kind of manually control it. And based on what I saw in the overhead camera, Dylan Ferguson's entire body was on top of the goal line, and there was no way to tell if that puck crossed over or not. But they're zooming in every which way they can. Steven Saylor, the referee, is looking at the iPad in the visiting penalty box right now with one linesman over his shoulder and an off-ice official over his other shoulder to determine if there's enough evidence, if that entire puck visibly was across the goal line. And it's a big moment here at Wings Event Center. It could be the first goal of the night, or we stay scoreless. And either way, a heads-up play by Sadaway. The back-checking defenseman for Fort Wayne was able to cut off the angle enough where Sadaway really didn't have a good angle at a shot on net. He could have fired it from a sharp angle low in the left circle, but because that back-checking defenseman really prevented him from cutting back across the middle, his best bet was to try to get a wraparound on goal, and he did have the space needed before Ferguson was able to scramble across from post to post. But I don't know if that wraparound ended up going across the goal line, and based on the camera angle I saw, there's really no way to tell. Ferguson was laying across the goal line. Here's the official ruling. It's no goal. And again, I think that's the right call. There was no way to tell. I know the fans don't like it, but they're going to show this again. Sadaway on the wraparound, tucked it into the crease. Yeah, I think Ferguson had his whole left arm, his glove side arm, pinned on the goal line, and it never crossed. Yeah, I think that never went in, at least from that angle. So I know the fans don't like it, but there's no way to tell if that puck fully crossed the goal line from that angle, and we stay scoreless. 4:25 left in the first period. Dumped all the way into the Kalamazoo end. It's Anthony Petruzzelli. He takes a big check on the play from Catalyst. The puck works its way down low again for Jenks, who's knocked off the puck, and it's scooped up by Diamond Tony. Across the way to Blaney, cutting through the middle of the neutral zone, but Sadaway was knocked offside. He's frustrated, slamming his stick up against the penalty box glass. It was just kind of a bang-bang play where he was checked at the blue line, and it caused his momentum to carry him offside there, and so the faceoff will come outside the zone. 4:10 left in the first period, still 0-0. A great chance from Sadaway, who currently leads the ECHL in scoring. The only player ahead of him in goals right now is Ralph Kudemi, who's up in the American Hockey League on a tryout. But Kudemi with the Reading Royals had 21 goals before he was called up. Sadaway in second with 17 goals, nearly had his 18th moments ago. But for current ECHL skaters, Sadaway leads everybody. It's the kind of season he's had, his fourth pro year, his first season in Kalamazoo. Score stays 0-0, but Garrett Ross is going to beat this icing here. Ferguson will come out to play it, swat it around the far boards, and here's Gallipo reversing it behind his net. Hustling over on the near side is Taylor Doherty. Up the right wing and out to center, Sidlowski. Crosses over the Kalamazoo line. He'll backhand it down into the corner, and Ben Wilson's the first to the puck as he's heckled by Lazarchuk. Up the right wing now, Aikapelli tries to stick handle. Pressure put on those. It's taken away by Sidlowski. Given back, though, to Aikapelli. He'll chip it out to center for Taylor. Taylor taps it along for Ross, who tries to split the defense. Lost it to Gallipo, but stays with it. And Taylor hustles after it in the right corner. Sweeps it in behind the net, looking for Aikapelli. Bouncing puck, Aikapelli corrals it left corner. Skates to the top of the circle, carries it into the high slot. Now on his backhand in the right circle, throws it on goal, and a save by Ferguson as it's knocked up the right wing and out by Lazarchuk. Push back ahead for Aaron Tho. Everybody tags up on side. And what's this whistle going to be as Kalamazoo is heading off on a change? Not sure why they blew the play dead. Nobody touched it. They're going to say it is offside potentially here, and I don't think anybody touched the puck. It was thrown back in by Tho, but everybody was changing. Either way, it's a fresh line change and a face-off outside the zone with 3:05 left in the first period. Still no score. Aaron Tho misfires on his D-to-D pass, and Connor Schmidt's chased back into his own end by Lowen. Schmidt up the left wing for Sandler. Luke Sandler gets to center ice. Trailing the play is Schmidt, who blasts it in around the boards. Corner to the right wing side. Dauda's hammered to the ice by Haas. Coming in to help was Kovacs on the back wall. Kovacs gets free, walks out front, and then drops it off to Tho, sharp angle. Tho down into the corner again. Leads it over to the far side. Stephen Bayless comes away with the puck, and he'll lift it out, and now it's a foot race forward. Eric Catalyst is chased by Lowen. Catalyst gets to the puck first and gets positioning now as he works his way back up the middle. Right wing, Kovacs onto the stick of Douda. 2-on-1 with Sandler, and he threw it away in the slot as he kind of panicked, but it's held in at the right point by Kovacs. In the circle, Kovacs reverses it. Sandler towards the net as it's broken up in front. Stepping up to pinch was Corey Dunn. A dangerous play, but he held it in. And now Bayless comes away with it in the slot, and Fort Wayne escapes to center. Brought in by Taylor Ross. Stick handles into the slot. Has help from Bowdens, as Bowdens will circle the net. Bowdens in behind. Gave it away to Douda behind his cage. Over on the right wing is Kovacs. And Kovacs just chips it out into the neutral zone as Kalamazoo works on a change with under 2 minutes to play here in the first period. Still 0-0 at Wings Event Center. Lob back in by A.J. Jenks, the former Toledo Walleye. He chases in as Edmondson will reverse course. Up the middle of the ice now it's Diamond Tony. He'll lob it through the air and Blaney will hustle after it, but it's knocked out to center by Bryson Martin. Blasted back in by Ben Wilson. Ferguson stops the puck behind his net. Martin has it behind his cage. Angles it up the left wing and out. It hops a few times all the way down, and it'll be icing as it missed Matthew Bowdens on the left wing. So the faceoff will come all the way back down in front of Dylan Ferguson. 1:27 left here in the first period. First period tonight brought to you by Allied Van Lines. Coming up in our intermission, we'll be joined by the winner of our third annual fan design jersey competition, Kurt Gorecki, who designed these jerseys that Kalamazoo is wearing tonight, honoring their affiliation with Vancouver and Utica. And we'll talk to him about the inspiration behind that design and what this whole experience has been like. A record 34 designs were submitted this year and almost 7,000 votes cast. Gorecki's design was the winner of the final 10. He received 40% of the vote. Brought in here by Anthony Petruzzelli for Fort Wayne. On the right wing, he lost the handles. It's shoveled back out by Blaney. D-to-D pass across to Gallipo and saucered back over to the right wing for Sean Sidlowski. Gave it away to Wilson. Wilson challenged on the play by Lazarchik, but it's cleared. And then Taylor Doherty rifles it right back in as it catches the dasher and is scooped up and settled down by Edmondson. Ian Edmondson is chased by Sidlowski. Plays it up the left wing side for Sadaway. He'll deflect it down in behind the Fort Wayne net with under a minute to play here in the first. Still 0-0. Up the right wing, Sean Sidlowski. Plays it up ice onto the tape of Lazarchik, who's hit at the line. Oh boy, the referee was bumped into by Ike Apelli, and Steven Saylor went down, but he's back to his feet now. Garrett Ross drops it off behind his net for Connor Schmidt. Jermaine Lowen waiting at the edge of the crease. Schmidt with the puck with under 30 seconds to play in the period. Up the right wing, but out of the reach of Taylor, and scooped up by San Vito, who leads it back to Gallipo in his own end for Fort Wayne. Left wing side, it's Lowen. He'll chip it down into the Kalamazoo corner. Aaron Tho hustles back with San Vito. They get there simultaneously. Schmidt is stapled up against the back wall by Bayless. Taylor comes away with the puck and finds Ross with 7 seconds left in the period. Time for maybe one more rush. Bounces in the neutral zone. Ike Apelli can't corral it. The final 2 seconds will tick off the clock, and we're scoreless after 20 minutes. Raise your hand if you had that one. Tonight with these two teams, it usually is very high scoring, but after one, nothing to show for the 18 combined shots. Kalamazoo with 11, Fort Wayne with 7. 0-0 after one here at Wings Event Center on affiliate night. And coming up here in our first intermission, we'll be joined by Kurt Gorecki, the winning designer of these awesome affiliation-themed jerseys. We're coming up after this with that interview. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan.
Ever wish you could visit Italy but just can't afford it? Don't worry. Jasper's Pizza and Fine Italian Food will be your tour guide as you go on a culinary tour of Italy. With the best ingredients shipped straight from Italy, Jasper's made-from-scratch sauces, pastas, and pizza won't disappoint. Jasper's, located at 5190 Gull Road, is the place to go for all your pizza and pasta needs. Jasper's has been in business since 1977 and still serving the great food today.
Positivity. It's more than a saying. It's the driving force behind our health system. It's in our employees, our providers, our patients. It's in the choices we make to improve healthcare for you and the ways we work together to advance the health of our community. At Bronson, we live positivity because positivity is what inspires us to go above and beyond. Find out what it can do for you at bronsonpositivity.com or follow us on Facebook.
Zemlick Office Products is a second-generation, family-owned company with 5 different locations based in Southwest Michigan. They can supply everything for your office, church, school, or break room. They carry it all, from ink, toner, and paper, to furniture, safety vests, and light bulbs. Zemlick serves customers of all sizes in Michigan and northern Indiana. There is no customer too small or too large. Place your order today via their website at zemlick.com, or you can give them a call at 866-936-5425.
Old Burdick's has burgers, beers, big screens, and we take watching the big game seriously. Grab a beer bucket, house-smoked wings, or a handcrafted burger, and take in the energy and excitement like you're at the game itself. Stop into either of the Old Burdick's locations downtown Kalamazoo inside of the Radisson Plaza Hotel, or at Wings West off of 9th Street. Hey fans, be sure to check out ECHL.TV, the live streaming destination for the 2019-20 season. Catch all the latest live action from across the premier AA Hockey League, including multi-game high-definition view and playback functionality on both your PC, mobile, and OTT devices. Visit ECHL.TV today to get into the game and never miss the action.
How many people listening right now have a huge opinion on Western Michigan, Michigan State, Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Wings, and more? Well, you can voice your huge opinions weekday afternoons between 3 and 6 p.m. on The Huge Show right here on AM 1660 The Fan in Kalamazoo. You can also drop your opinions 24/7 at Huge Show on Twitter, The Huge Show on Facebook and Instagram, and make sure you tune in weekday afternoons to my show, The Huge Show, right here on AM 1660 The Fan.
This is Nick Boulin, head coach of the Kalamazoo Wings, and you're listening to Kalamazoo Wings Hockey.
Welcome back to Wings Event Center here in Kalamazoo, Michigan, where the K-Wings and the Fort Wayne Komets are scoreless after one period of play. The intermission festivities going on affiliation night here in Kalamazoo, and a very special guest joining us up here in the first intermission, the winner of the Fan Design Jersey Contest, the third annual Fan Design Jersey Contest, and the second time this guy has won. That just shows you the talent displayed next to me here. Kurt Gorecki, thanks for joining us. First of all, your reaction when you found out you won again this year, which was a very competitive race, I must say, for the best jersey.
Yeah, honestly, when I won this year again, I was just excited for the city of Kalamazoo, the team, obviously. It's a big event for charity every year. You know, everyone shows up. They love seeing the jerseys out here on the ice. They look awfully amazing on the team. And I was just really excited, but actually kind of shocked, you know, that I won again. You know, the community, the team got behind me again and really ended up liking the jerseys. So it was really shock. I put a lot of time into it, but still shock.
Well, the original contest that we ran 2 years ago, you won with it was a jersey that was navy blue with kind of a white design, white trim, awesome, sharp-looking jerseys. Last year, it was a different winner. What happened? I'm just kidding. No, let's come to this year. The theme this year was the Vancouver Canucks Utica Komets affiliation. And I think that just created a lot of awesome designs that everybody picked their favorite Canucks logo or Utica logo or favorite color scheme. And yours was completely different from everybody else's. It did some of that with the design elements, but it was more Kalamazoo focused from a color scheme standpoint. So I just wanted to kind of hear your inspiration behind this jersey that we're wearing tonight.
So honestly, John, you know, I started out with sketching immediately at work when I found out about the affiliation night, and I wanted to do something true to Kalamazoo, the history in this organization, something that everyone would obviously like to wear. That's my always number one whenever I design anything, you know, make sure that it's right for the audience. And then also, I, you know, basically went back to what is my favorite affiliation relationship there, jersey-wise, and I went back to the flying skate, or some people call it whatever it is. But yeah, you know, my uncle always used to wear one when I was younger. You know, like I had family members that are from Canada, so I got the late Hockey Night in Canada broadcast. Got to see Beret and Matthias Olin and you know, Naslin buzzing around with those old flying skate jerseys on. So I knew it was like the perfect concept. And I just added in some elements that made it the American affiliation, the stars and stripes kind of deal. And it's true to the Kalamazoo Wings, the color scheme, everything was just kind of came together.
I was telling you earlier tonight that that was my favorite Canucks jersey as well, and kind of as a hockey historian myself, when I first grew up and started getting into the game, it was when Vancouver made that run to the Stanley Cup Finals when they played the Rangers, and they had that old flying skate jersey scheme with the black, white, and red logo, and there were some submissions that were similar to yours, but in that color scheme that Vancouver wore, that were also sharp and also made the top 10 and the finalists. So there were so many great designs. We're joined by Kurt Gorecki, the winner of the 3rd annual fan design jersey competition. The jerseys Kalamazoo's wearing tonight for the affiliation night. A record 36 jerseys were submitted this year, and a record nearly 7,000 votes for the final 10 jerseys. Now, yours received 40% of the vote.
Wow.
Did you have any other favorites from the ones that you saw that were in the competition, or any schemes or concepts that stood out to you?
Well, one thing for sure, I mean, like the jersey design community, the people that love doing it for a hobby and also, like actually do it for a living, is kind of a tight-knit community. I know a lot of the people we interact on Twitter are constantly going back and forth, bouncing ideas off of one another. So, people like John Alberts and Dylan Nowick, some of those people, even Dallas Kirkpatrick, who won last year.
Yep.
Yeah, he, we interact on Twitter sometimes, or I see what they're doing, and, it's always kind of a fun one-up kind of contest.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like the best should always win, and I think, there's a lot of solid options again this year. That's why I was amazed when I won. I mean, the font that I chose for the wings part wasn't the original Flying Skate, but I did that kind of calculated in that regard to kind of make it a little bit more modern, more K-Wings. So, there were some other Flying Skates, like you said, but, it just kind of ended up being awesome, and I think everyone that entered obviously did a phenomenal job.
How different has this experience been from the first time that you won, being that this is the 3rd year of the competition? I mean, we're going to have to change the rules here pretty soon because you keep dominating this competition. We might have to make you a judge or something, a celebrity judge, rather than an actual competitor next year. But how different has this experience been?
It's been awesome. Obviously I know the team now, and I know everyone. I pay attention to the actual game quite often. I'm always signed in to broadcast and listen to the games. It's really cool to see the reaction from the team and also the community. I mean, I had a lot of people reach out before when I won, and then also now, and everyone's just so supportive of it. It's really cool, and every single time it goes for the maximum amount of money for charity.
Yeah.
So that's super important. I ended up buying one last year. I'll probably do the same thing again this year. I love it, and I love this community and this team, and the whole organization from the top down is really something special.
We're here with Kurt Gorecki, the winner of the fan design jersey competition. How much time did it take you to put this thing together? Because I got to imagine it didn't take a night or an hour, or probably was a little bit more than that.
Yeah, I start sketching everything, kind of old school, thinking about, different options of the jersey, and then I kind of composite it together and bring it into the computer. So, a lot of iteration, like I said, communicating with other friends that are in the industry and people that are in the community of jersey design and whatnot. And, I always try and make it better and better and better to the last minute. It's about 2 weeks from the moment that you guys announced it to I think the night before the design contest entered, I think I submitted. So, yeah, it was every moment I didn't have work stuff to do, I was working on this. My wife was like, what are you doing in, in your office? I'm like, I'm drawing stuff out and designing stuff. Oh, that's great. What for? Oh, the Kalamazoo Wings? Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
It worked out great. Obviously, you're here and celebrating the night and your design, seeing it in action, worn by the Kalamazoo Wings. It's got to be pretty cool. My last thing is you got to drop the puck right next to the commissioner of the ECHL, Ryan Creelan, who's going to be our next intermission guest. We bumped you up to the first intermission. We're going to move the commissioner back to the second intermission. What was it like to meet the commissioner?
Oh, he's a great guy, man. He really is. Kind of a crazy dream come true, right, for this whole contest. It's like the commissioner's here for affiliate night, get to drop the puck with them, got to chat him up. The one question I did want to ask him is what happened to the Kelly Cup?
Oh, yeah. that might be one that we avoid asking in the second intermission because there's been enough media coverage, right? It sounds like it's back in their hands, though, which is good news.
That is good
going
news.
Forward.
I guess everyone partied too hard.
Well, awesome job this year. Congratulations once again, and thanks for doing this. Keep up the great work, and we'll have to be in touch going into next year at the 4th annual design to see what the game plan is. But one way or the other, I feel like we should get you involved.
Absolutely. I'd be more than happy to.
Kurt Gorecki, everybody. This is the first intermission of our affiliation night. Kalamazoo and Fort Wayne are scoreless after one. 18 combined shots, 11 for Kalamazoo, 7 for Fort Wayne. Nothing to show for it, but some good chances. We'll have more coming up in our first intermission. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan.
We're the home of the Chicago Cubs, K-Wings, WMU Women's Basketball, and high school sports. 1660 The Fan, WQLR, Kalamazoo, Portage.
We get it. Life doesn't always let you do everything you want. With the Kalamazoo Wings 5 and 3 packs, you get the best games, the best seats, and the best food at one low price. You can enjoy all the hard-hitting action without breaking the bank or missing out on any big games. Packages are limited, so pick up the phone and call 269-488-8158 or go online to kwings.com to get yours ordered today. Don't wait because they'll be gone before you know it. Power up your play with premium on-ice and dryland hockey training from athletic mentors, leaders in athletic training programs. We offer ultimate dryland spring and summer hockey camps, in-season strength and conditioning, and ultimate skills and power training for youths aged 8 to pro. Experience our unique blend of mental and physical conditioning and elevate your game. Check it out at athleticmentorshockey.com. That's athleticmentorshockey.com.
Do you want the opportunity to create great memories with your friends without being tied to specific dates or times? Check out the Kalamazoo Wings Flexi Plans. With 12, 24, and 36 packs available, you can pick which games you want to attend and who you want to attend the games with. Starting at just $183, Flexi Packs give you the perks while enjoying hockey on your own time. For more information, call the K-Wings at 269-345-1125 or go online to kwings.com.
Yeah, my friends are surprised I'm here tonight. Every time a good show came through, I had an excuse. I gotta take care of the kids, I gotta work late. Honestly, I just didn't have room in the budget. Recently, I found out I could save a ton of money by transferring my credit cards and auto loan to Advia Credit Union, and it was simple. Now I have my own concert fund set aside and am ready to rock at a moment's notice. I just don't remember it being this loud in college.
It's simple. Transfer your loans to Advia Credit Union online or at a branch. We'll handle the rest. All loans subject to approval. Rates and terms may vary based on creditworthiness of borrower.
Craig Culver cooking up the one and only mushroom and Swiss butter burger.
Have you ever tried our butter burger with sauteed mushrooms? I just placed 2 patties of our Midwestern beef on the grill. We're adding the sauteed mushrooms. We've added the Swiss. So the Swiss cheese is melting over the side of the burger. And mushrooms are right in the middle. Oh, that looks good. And there's the mushroom and Swiss butter burger. Welcome to Delicious.
Enjoy the farm fresh taste of Culver's at one of 4 area locations.
We've got 2 words for you. Intense.
Oh, it's on a crack.
It's radio coming at you.
You know where we're going.
1 million miles per hour.
And we're going big.
We're pegging the RPM meter.
I'm not sitting around for 4 hours. You have to feed the monster. I shot the mother. Say what?
And this ain't no Sunday drive in the park.
Not the speed, really, so much. I just wish I hadn't drunk all that cough syrup.
Miracles do happen, you know.
This is The Fan.
You better believe it.
This is forward Kyle Blaney, and you're listening to Kalamazoo Wings Hockey.
Welcome back to Wings Event Center here in our first intermission as the Kalamazoo Wings and the Fort Wayne Komets are scoreless through 20 minutes. Let's take a look at what else is happening around the ECHL. These scores brought to you by Tower Pinkster. The Indy Fuel and Kansas City Mavericks are about to get underway in Indianapolis, but they were supposed to start earlier. It looks like the game just started. They had some ice issues tonight in Indiana Farmers Coliseum. The temperature of the ice was about 6 degrees warmer than it was supposed to be is what I heard, and so they had to delay that thing. So about an hour delay, and it looks like they're ready to play in Indianapolis. South Carolina's up 1-0 over Orlando early third period in South Carolina and North Charleston Coliseum. Greenville's up 2-1 over Norfolk at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. 17 minutes left in the third period, and wow, yeah, that one's already in the third period. That's right. Florida's up 3-1 over Jacksonville. That game is at the end of 1 down in Estero, Florida. Adirondack leads Reading 2-0 early in the second in Glens Falls, New York. Maine and Worcester are scoreless at the start of the second. Later on tonight, Rapid City hosts Wichita. Utah welcomes Tulsa. And Idaho will host Allen. We're back with the start of the second period after this. We'll be joined by K-Wings forward Boston Lear here in the second period. Stick around. No score after 1. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan.
Host your event at Wings Event Center. With a hospitality-first mentality, you can rest easy knowing your event is in good hands. Conveniently located directly off I-94 in Kalamazoo with top-notch technological capabilities, in-house catering available, and intimate to large event spaces, you'll be set up for success at Wings Event Center. Visit wingseventcenter.com to learn more about booking your next event in Kalamazoo.
Hey, we just landed. We'll be home in 10 minutes.
The Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport. Safe, simple, convenient. Going out or coming home, it's the hassle-free way to travel, with parking right outside the new terminal. And now, AZO is even easier. That's right. The Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport is easier than distant airports, and easier than ever before, right in your backyard. Now there are more flights with larger jets, more first-class seats, a new Comfort Plus class with extra legroom, and introducing new basic economy fares. Whether you're traveling for business or leisure, flying in and out of AZO improves your entire experience. The Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport. Fly home. Be home.
CSM Group is a national project management company with roots in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Since 1983, CSM Group has been leading the construction industry with their extensive safety practices, planning, and execution of all sizes. CSM Group employs over 100 construction professionals and hosts operations in 26 states as well as in Canada. They have market-focused divisions in healthcare, food and beverage, industrial manufacturing, education, and corporate facilities. For all your project needs, be sure to call CSM Group at 269-746-5600.
Looking for a fun, fast-paced way to spend your weekend or night out with coworkers and friends? With packages for 10 friends or 200 coworkers, look no further than K-Wings Hockey. With on-site catering and private event spaces available, a K-Wings hockey game is the perfect place to enjoy the company of whoever you want while watching Kalamazoo's only professional sports team. Call us today at 269-345-1125 or go online to kwings.com for more information or to book your group today.
This is the Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon.
This is why I like the Clippers more than I like the Lakers. Their depth would win out. Their offense is just humming along. Kawhi's in the game. He's not in the game. Paul George is in the game. He's not in the game. It doesn't matter. The Lakers have two guys averaging more than 19 a game. AD and LeBron, who are averaging 25 a game. That's it. And that's why, despite the fact the Lakers have a better record, I'll take the Clippers.
The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. Weeknights starting at 10 on 1660 The Fan.
This is for Tanner Sorensen, and you're listening to Kalamazoo Wings Hockey.
Welcome back to Wings Event Center here in Kalamazoo. A little bit of frustrations off the opening draw here in the second period. Zach Diamantoni and Matthew Bowden's lined up against each other on the wing, but looks like the linesmen have figured things out, and we're ready to begin. No score after one. We're underway here in the second. John Peterson alongside Boston Lear. Glad to have you listening wherever you're tuning in on AM 1660 The Fan or on ECHL TV. Fort Wayne in their white jerseys, orange and black trim. Kalamazoo in their special affiliation-themed jerseys, navy in color, white and red trim, as it's pushed out to center by Corey Dunn, deflected in the neutral zone by Diamantoni, but icing will be the call. 20 seconds into the second period. Boston, what'd you think of that first period? I felt like Kalamazoo, I should say, had a few more good grade A scoring chances.
Yeah, we had some good chances. You know, Keel's made some big saves when he needed to, but yeah, I think it's just capitalizing on those opportunities. Sads was real close, and you know, I've said it again, and I'll say it, or said it before, I'll say it again. You shouldn't give him too many chances because he doesn't miss very often.
It was one of those that was such a crazy review, because usually you can tell one way or the other if a puck crossed the goal line, but give Dylan Ferguson credit. There was no way to see if that entire puck crossed the goal line on that wraparound that was waved off, but to the officials' credit, the light never went on, and the referee never saw it across the goal line in live action, so the video review just kind of confirmed that it was too tough to tell.
Yeah, I got my first look at it when we were up here, actually, in the intermission, and he did a really good job of making sure the puck wasn't shown anywhere, and I think he had, you know, his skate on one post, his glove on the other post. He did a good job of keeping that thing out of the net.
We've got a blocker side face-off in front of Jake Kiley. It's won by the Komets' Brett McKenzie. Taylor Doherty will wrap it in around the net. Hops the stick of McKenzie over to the left wing, and Sadoway scoops it up. Skates away from pressure, leads it in behind the net, but Lazarchuk is able to shovel it over to the half wall for McKenzie and up to the left point for Doherty, who fires. That's tipped. Kiley makes the save as it goes in behind the net. Lazarchuk for Fort Wayne tries to wrap it out front. It comes to the point. Doherty blasts a shot that might have clanked off the post, but it stayed out of the net. And Diamantoni will lead it up the left wing for Sadoway, who dumps it the rest of the way down. And Kalamazoo dodges that bullet. They'll get a full line change here. 1 minute into the second period, still 0-0. Turned over in the neutral zone by Fort Wayne, but given right back as McKenzie will dump it in on goal. Kiley will steer it to the side, and Tho will rip it up the left wing. Ikapelli kicks it into the offensive zone, and the first of the pucks, Bryson Martin for the Komets. Held in momentarily at the line on the pinch. On the second try, Taylor Ross shovels it ahead for San Vito, and it's brought in by Bayless, who fires a shot. Stick save by Kiley, and that flies up into the mesh, out of play. 18:39 left in the second period, still 0-0.
Yeah, a little flutter puck kind of caught Keels off guard. Those ones are tough for the change-ups, and it seemed like it went off a body in front and off the post, but luckily enough, we were able to get it out of the zone.
It'll be another blocker side draw in front of Jake Kiley, the rookie out of Clarkson, a Vancouver Canucks contracted goaltender, starting on affiliation night tonight with the Vancouver logo on one shoulder, the Utica Komets logo on the other. Fort Wayne affiliated with the Vegas Golden Knights and the Chicago Wolves, by the way. In the offensive zone is San Vito working to get it free for the Komets. It comes to the point. Bryson Martin pump fakes, drops it back in behind the net, and it rolls all the way over to the right wing side. Sandler was tripped up, though, in the circle. It's deflected back ahead to the top of the circle and saucered up to the left point for Martin. Martin knocks it down, fires, and a kick save by Kiley, and it's steered out of harm's way by Tho back into the far corner. Pressure put on at the half wall. It comes up to the right point. Jason Binkley tries a shot, saved by Kiley. Big rebound is lobbed out to center by Kovacs, and the Komets will regroup in the neutral zone. Bryson Martin winds up, fires it in cross corner. Big bounce off the corner boards. Tho banks it off the glass and out to center ice again. And here's A.J. Jenks with the puck now. The top line center leads it ahead for Matthew Bowdens. Stick handles into the right wing side of the Kalamazoo zone. Tries to throw it across the rink. That's deflected off of a shin pad. Stays in right at the point, though, and Petruzzelli drops it off for Jenks. Top of the left circle. Jenks tries to go back door. He had a man cutting. That was Bowdens, but they couldn't connect. And Sandler finds it, but it's poked off his stick. Now Bowdens from beneath the goal line. Out front to Jenks, and a save by Kiley with the left pad. Maybe his best of the game. Stewart rips it across the zone. It's taken by Kovacs. Pushed over to Tho. And Kalamazoo badly needing a change. They'll get one here as it's dumped in from center by Sandler. Ferguson leaves it at the side of his net. Still 0-0. 17:15 left in the second period. Deflected in from the neutral zone. Kiley behind his net will play it. On the left wing is Edmondson. Edmondson cuts out towards center. Saucers it ahead for Diamond Tony. In across the Fort Wayne line. He takes a check there in open ice from McKenzie. And it's played D-to-D again and led up the right wing by Stewart and out to center. But right to Dylan Sadoway. Stick handles and finds Blaney. Saucered back to Sadoway, right circle. Turns the corner and feeds it across to the trailer Edmondson, but he has to play the carom. Holds the zone at the left point. Edmondson tries to go back to Sadoway, but that went through his skates and in behind the net on the carom. And now it's pushed back over to the right wing side. Diamond Tony tries to hold it in, but Lazarchik is able to clear. Tape to tape out to center for Sean Sidlowski. He's poke checked by Edmondson. Edmondson will start the rush. Ahead for Sadoway, but doesn't connect. And now a Comet fell down his own end, but they dodge the bullet as the puck trickles out to center, and it's deflected into the Fort Wayne bench. It was Olivier Gallipo that kind of heel-picked almost as he tried to clear it, and had that gone onto the stick of Diamond Tony, it was a breakaway.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job of flicking it up in the air, so Dimes couldn't bat it down. But yeah, it was seems like there's a few of the boys are falling around out there at the start of the second period. Must be some exposed concrete somewhere.
16:28 left in the second period. No score here at Wings Event Center. Fort Wayne already jumping out to a 6-1 shots advantage here in the second period. None better than that one-timer from A.J. Jenks from right between the circles that Kiley kicked out with the left pad. D-to-D pass here. Schmidt to Tho across the rink. That misses Ikapelli and is held out at the Fort Wayne blue line. Muscled back in by Taylor, but he's wrapped up right now by Jermaine Lowen. Ross comes over to help Taylor on the boards battle. They continue to work to get this puck free. Lowen jamming at it, finally does so as San Vito will play it across the rink and Bayless will carry it ahead for Fort Wayne. Bayless dumps it in behind the Kalamazoo net. Schmidt wraps it around the boards and avoids a booming collision with Lowen. Carried back to center, Connor Schmidt weaves through and tries a shot that's deflected high in the air up into the glass and falls back to the ice as it's fed up the right wing by Doherty. Led out to center by Bayless. Chopped into the Kalamazoo zone as Dunn will be the first to the puck, and he reverses it away from Jermaine Lowen's forecheck. Justin Taylor with it again for Kalamazoo. Launches it up the left wing. Misfires though, but they wave off the icing here. Kalamazoo puts the pressure on Dunn. Down in the corner now for Ross. Bryson Martin lost his stick. Binkley will play it around the boards. It hops to the point. It's settled down by Catalyst. Flips a shot to the front. Tipped on goal. Save and a rebound shoveled just wide by Taylor, who had the deflection on the first try. Brought back out by Jenks. Left wing catching up to it is Bowdens. Into the Kalamazoo zone. His pass in the skates of Jenks. And now it's lifted up the right wing by Catalyst and tapped out to center by Kovacs. Sandler throws it across the rink. Kovacs will chase. Binkley's to the puck first. Feeds it onto the tape of Bowdens with 15 minutes to play here in the second period. Bowdens reverses it for Petruzzelli. Centers one off the right pad of Kiley, and the rebound's cleared out of harm's way by Kovacs. But he's unable to clear the zone as McKenzie keeps it in at the half wall. And now Kovacs will jam at the puck in the skates of Bowdens. McKenzie gets it free. Here's Bryson Martin. That's knocked off his stick by Adam Dauda. Dauda will skate back through center for Kalamazoo. Poke checked at the Fort Wayne line. Push back in, but Lazarchuk is able to clear onto the tape of Brett McKenzie. Into the K-Wing zone. Sidlowski fires in a kick save made by Kiley, and Sandler is able to clear the rebound out to center with 14 and a half minutes left here in the second period. Still 0-0. Eric Catalyst back in behind his own net, escapes up the middle. Sidlowski puts the pressure on and gets the poke check. But in behind the net, Corey Dunn now will try the right wing side. He lobs it out. Splits the Fort Wayne defense. They'll wave the icing as Stewart could have played it. And the K-Wings can get a wholesale change again as Stewart will circle his net for the Komets. Brought back out to center. Chase Stewart into the Kalamazoo zone. Edmondson plays it D-to-D for Wilson. Up the right wing, it's deflected by Lowen. Lowen will get the puck back in the neutral zone. Diamond Tony stays with it, but Kyle Haas works his way into the offensive zone for Fort Wayne. Fires, and it's swallowed up by Jake Kiley with 13:51 left in the second period, and now some pushing and shoving in front of the net. Everybody grabs a dance partner. There were no penalties in the first period, and now we see some tempers flaring. Ben Wilson is fired up right now. He wants a piece of Jermaine Lowen. Everything kind of settles, and I don't know that anybody will be penalized here, but if so, I got to believe in the scrum it would be coincidentals. Either way, we'll come back and let you know. 0-0, 13:51 left in the second period. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan. Old Burdick's has burgers, beers, big screens, and we take watching the big game seriously. Grab a beer bucket, house-smoked wings, or a handcrafted burger, and take in the energy and excitement like you're at the game itself. Stop into either of the Old Burdick's locations, downtown Kalamazoo, inside of the Radisson Plaza Hotel, or at Wings West off of 9th Street. Make sure you stay up to date on what's happening with your Kalamazoo Wings during the team's 46th season by following us all year on social media. Like the Kalamazoo Wings hockey page on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Kalamazoo Wings. Don't miss out on all the K-Wings breaking news, events, contests, prizes, and behind-the-scenes content. It's the year of the fan, so make your K-Wings moment today. Well, it doesn't look like there were any penalties handed out after that post-whistle scrum before the media timeout. Kalamazoo and Fort Wayne haven't seen a lot of the tempers flare at all tonight in a 0-0 game with 0 penalties, but after that last whistle, it boiled pretty quickly as Jermaine Lowen and Ben Wilson were in each other's face, and then Kyle Haas stepped in and wanted a piece of Wilson. And when the teams were skating their separate directions to their bench, Kyle Haas gave the Kalamazoo crowd or the Kalamazoo bench the old-fashioned thumbs up with a different finger. And I don't think the officials saw it, or else he would have been penalized a little bit worse than that. No penalties on the play. Lifted back out to center. Haas will chase after this one. They're going to call the icing on Kalamazoo. 13:46 left in the second period. No score. Kalamazoo trailing in shots 16-13. But it's a 0-0 where it counts. And kind of an interesting game as these two teams have played some high-scoring games this year throughout the season series. This is the 7th meeting of 14. Haven't seen each other since December 1st, and it's been a goaltender's duel so far.
Yeah, it's been it's been a kind of a neutral zone game this second period anyways. They had that good first shift, and ever since that it's been kind of, the puck hasn't been able to, enter either zone very well, so hopefully it picks up a bit here.
It's pushed up to the line and splits the Fort Wayne defense. Stewart backs up and blasts it back in wide of the Kalamazoo net as Connor Schmidt stops behind his cage with control. Schmidt plays it up the middle onto the tape of Justin Kovacs. Kovacs into the Fort Wayne zone. Chips it over to the left wing, tries to kick it onto his tape, has help from Sandler as it's wrapped in behind the net, and is scooped up here and led up the left wing and out by Taylor Doherty. Hustling back is Aaron Tho. In hot pursuit is San Vito. Tho wraps it around the K-Wings net, and Diamond Tony has it on the left wing. Lifts it out to center. Bouncing puck swatted in by Dauda. Chasing after it Sandler, but it's batted back to center. And on a delayed offside, Schmidt will just dump it in around the Fort Wayne net, and Kalamazoo will get a change. 13 minutes left in the second period. Still 0-0 here at Wings Event Center. Brought in the right circle, and Petruzzelli was hauled down. The puck comes to the point for Doherty, who drives a shot that's blocked in front of Kiley. Bouncing puck comes into the high slot area, and Sadaway is able to lift it out. Blaney will chase after it on the left wing. Blaney hustles in after it, in behind the net. Blaney stays with the puck on the right wing boards, up top for Dunn. D-to-D Catalyst, stick handles into the slot. Catalyst fires, and a save made by Ferguson with the blocker. Then Catalyst tried to swing it up to the right point, but chases Dunn out to center, and Kalamazoo will tag up and regroup. Dunn through the middle of the ice. I don't think that caught Sadoway. This is going to be icing here on the K-Wings. It'll bring everything back in front of Jake Kiley.
Yeah, nice little move by Cat at the point there. Good play by Dunner to get it over to him quick. Plains with a great job. He's so good down low with the puck.
Face-off will be to the right of Jake Kiley, as it's going to be a defensive zone face-off. We're joined here by Boston Lear. Going to be a blocker side draw in front of Kiley. Brett McKenzie on the dot. He'll go up against Kyle Blaney. Puck's pushed up the right wing boards by Corey Dunn. Now Diamond Tony heckled by McKenzie. The battle continues as Lazarchuk pushes it into the corner. Catalyst around his net, reverses it for Dunn. And Dunn will try to escape as he lifts it up the left wing and out. Bouncing puck into the Komets zone. Bryson Martin back to retrieve, gave it away. Picked off by Diamond Tony. He'll try to saucer it across. Now a shot, that's blocked in front. It was taken by Ross, blocked by Binkley, and ricochets back out to center. Here's Ben Wilson again. His pass across the seam was batted down by Sidlowski. Sidlowski lobs it down into the Kalamazoo corner. Wilson now with pressure will try to get rid of the puck as it comes in behind the net. Now Edmondson challenged by Sidlowski. Edmondson sweeps it back over to Ikapelli on the left wing. He's wrapped up by McKenzie, and Lazarchuk comes away with it for Fort Wayne. His pass hops the stick of Martin up at the left point. Martin drops it down to the half wall. Pressure put on by Wilson. Now it's knocked down again by McKenzie, who fires from a sharp angle. It went off the side of the net, and Kiley wisely covers with the blocker. 11:21 left here in the second period.
Yeah, good to see Rossi getting back in the lineup here. We haven't seen anything of him. Saw him in practice, and I think everyone's excited to have him on our team. He's a pretty local guy. He said he's from just like an hour and a half down the road, and I've heard lots of good things from ex-teammates and everything. So happy to have him. Good to have a veteran presence like that with his resume. He's going to obviously help us.
You can see him jump out of the gate, too, with a lot of energy in the first couple shifts in that first period, too, getting some deflections in front. I thought he was going to score there for a second in his debut.
Yeah, he's definitely got a nose for the net. I mean, like you said, the resume, you see it speaks for itself. And, he's a hard-nosed player, too. And, Sad's played with him and Saginaw for a bit. So, yeah, I'm excited to see him fit in well with us.
Face off to the right of Jake Kiley. It's Dowda on the dot going up against Taylor Ross. But, yeah, again, Coach Bootland mentioned Garrett Ross brings some sandpaper to the game that he likes as well.
Definitely.
In addition to some skill and over 300 AHL games of experience.
Yeah, that helps.
Dowda rips it in on goal. It's caught high in the air by Ferguson, who drops it back to the ice. It's led up the left wing for Lowen. Heckled by Dowda on the forecheck. Puck is pushed out to center by Taylor Ross. Again, no relation to Garrett. Connor Schmidt up the ice for Kovacs. Tries to drop it off for Dowda inside the blue line. They were onside, but the puck clears back to center. And now Sandler was tied up on the play by Bayless in the neutral zone. The battle continues. No call either way, and Bayless will work ahead through the middle of the ice. Drops it off to Lowen. Lowen stick handles, reverses it for Ross. Tries to go across, and that one's knocked away in front of Kiley. Never made it to the goaltender, and it's brought back ahead by Blaney. Blaney into the offensive zone, reverses it. Kovacs back to Blaney. He collides with Ferguson, who made the save, but lost his goal stick. Then it's turned over. Kovacs fires in a save made by Ferguson without his stick. No calls, though, as the Komets will carry it back the other way. Bowdens races into the Kalamazoo zone, gets behind the defense, and chipped it over the top of the net on his backhand. On the near side now, the puck squirts free. A.J. Jenks fires, and he shot it wide. Glove side of Kiley. Doherty lets it go up to the right point. Jenks holds the zone. Back to Taylor Doherty on the half wall. Centering attempt, hits a skate in front, ricochets into the corner. Connor Schmidt lifts it up the wall, bounces to the line. It's settled down by Jenks, goes up onto the dasher and falls back to the ice at the half wall. And Jenks delivers a big check and now walks into the right circle, drops it off down low, and it's fired wide of the net on a great scoring chance, that time by Bowdens. In behind the cage, Petruzzelli gets it back. He turns and fires, fought off by Kiley. Now a chance. Kiley makes the save and dives on the loose puck, and Bowdens comes barreling in and hammers Diamond Tony to the ice. But Jake Kiley robbed a sure goal. Couple of them there as Fort Wayne's forecheck went to work.
Yeah, great saves by Keels there. It was, there's a flurry of chances, and he stood his own, so that was awesome to see. It seems like it always happens. One great chance at one end, it comes back, and that's what happened. Blaney had a really good chance. He's been playing about as good as I've, seen anybody play this year from our team. And, you know, there just shows right there. And Colby with a good chance, just couldn't get all the wood on it. He's a little bit tied up in front, but you know, good offensive chances from our end, and then it goes right down, and then they get a couple. So seems like it always works out that way.
It'll be a face-off in front of Kiley, who now has 18 saves. Fort Wayne with an 18-16 shots advantage. Kalamazoo and Fort Wayne trading chance for chance. Blaney had a great opportunity, as you mentioned, at the other end, and then that time Fort Wayne's top line went to work on their forecheck. Kiley had to make a couple big saves. They've actually added 3 more shots, so Fort Wayne has 21 now to Kalamazoo 16. But so far, Jake Kiley has been up to the task. McKenzie and Taylor on the draw to the right of Kiley. 9:38 to play in the second period as we've crossed the halfway point of the hockey game. At the line, Bryson Martin's attempt is knocked down by Taylor, who blocked it in front and lifts it out on his backhand across the rink. Wilson's pass, though, was picked off and shot back in by Sidlowski, and Edmondson will chase after it. Heckled by Lazarchik and McKenzie, and now stepping up as the third man in is Sidlowski. The puck deflects out to center, and Bryson Martin scoops it up there and rips it right back in around the glass for Fort Wayne. Sidlowski on the right wing half wall, pushes it into the circle, picked off by Ross. Swept around the boards by Wilson, held in by Martin. His shot went off a Komets skate and wide of the net. Edmondson takes a crushing hit there by Sidlowski, but it's played out to center by Ikapelli. Ahead to Ross, and it's knocked away at the last minute by Bryson Martin, but Garrett Ross would have had a breakaway if that went the other direction. Now Fort Wayne will try again. Lazarchik right wing now for McKenzie into the Kalamazoo circle. McKenzie up at the half wall is heckled on the play, cycles it. It's pushed across to Kyle Haas, left circle, fires. That's blocked in front of Kiley as it caught Taylor. On the left wing now, Stephen Bayless. His sharp angle attempt is gloved by Kiley, who will hang on with 8:35 left in the second, and another face-off in the Kalamazoo end.
Yeah, great job by Keels again. Smother that thing so we could get a change. I think those guys are out there for a little bit longer. Rossi was just inches away. It seems like we're just a little bit, you know, got to dial it in a bit and get the things going, like breakout passes. Fort Wayne's giving us a bit of fits, you know, on their forecheck. They're doing a good job, but still got to execute, and we just got to make our passes just a little bit crisper, and I know things will end up working out here.
In that second period, especially for the home team here at Wings Event Center, it's a long change, and if you're stranded in your own zone for a long shift, that shift becomes even longer as it's so difficult to get back to the bench and get fresh legs out there, and we've seen it a couple times here already in the second period. Taylor Ross with it right circle. His shot's blocked as it's turned over, and now Adam Dauda is able to skate it to center. His backhander goes across the rink. It's played right back out quickly by Chase Stewart in the skates of Tho. Ahead for Kovacs, who saucers it over to Connor Schmidt. His pass goes D-to-D for Tho. Deflected out to center for Kovacs. He'll reverse it back to Tho, and Tho will skate along his blue line and circle back as Jermaine Lowen now closes in. Tho's pass out to center for Dauda. Now left wing side, Sandler. His pass hops the stick of Dauda. It's played around the net up to the near side, and Lowen comes booming in and hammers Connor Schmidt up high as Ross will reverse it on a 3-on-2 the other way, and Stewart's shot's deflected out of play by Aaron Tho, who blocked it, but Connor Schmidt got crushed there by Jermaine Lowen coming in. Schmidt was just stepping up to pinch, and Lowen stands about 6 to 8 inches taller than Schmidt, and we saw it there.
Yeah, Schmidt is, you know, he's an absolute team guy. He's making a play or taking a hit to make a play there, and Lowen's not a small guy, and those ones definitely hurt, but you know, that's Schmidt's game, and that's why he's such a good teammate.
5'11", 174 is Schmidt. Lowen 6'4", 216.
It's a big man.
Again, the rookie for Fort Wayne, Jermaine Lowen. Only second game against Kalamazoo. The other one was December 1st when he was sent down from Chicago. Gallipo will play a D-to-D for Doherty at the Fort Wayne blue line. Lobbed ahead up the right wing and brought in. They're going to say onside. Bowden's. The trailer's Gallipo. Cuts into the slot. Fires. And Kiley makes the save. Looks back, but he's got it between the wickets. And now the puck squirts free. No whistle as play continues. Fort Wayne's got it at the point. Into the slot. Gallipo. Off a skate. Right pad save by Kiley on Petruzzelli. On the left wing. Jenks circles the zone. Right point. Doherty. Pump fakes. Settles it down. Finds Jenks again. Right corner. Jenks out front, a shot, and they score. And Anthony Petruzzelli strikes first for Fort Wayne with 7:12 left in the second period. Again, you felt like that was kind of coming. Fort Wayne was building up some momentum with a few long shifts in the offensive zone, and Anthony Petruzzelli is able to sneak one by Kiley.
Yeah, you know, it always happens if you give them too many chances, they're going to end up scoring. They had a significant amount of pressure going there. Kind of weird start as it, you know, the breakout, the chip out kind of hit Sads in the face and it caught him off guard, I think. And, you know, that's how someone ended up being open and you know, that's how everything got started. And, yeah, the rest is history.
Time of the goal will be 12:48 of the second period on the 25th Fort Wayne Komets shot. They get the first goal tonight, and it's Anthony Petruzzelli scoring his 4th goal of the season. And now we have a timeout on the ice, and I think, is it Kalamazoo calling their timeout?
Yeah, we called it.
So Coach Boudlin wants to discuss things with his team right now, and this time it's more motivational, I feel like, Boston. It's not so much drawing anything up on the whiteboard, but he's firing up the team right now with the way the second period's kind of gone along.
Yeah, I don't think Buda was too happy probably with the way that we started the second period, and the good news is we still got half a hockey game to turn it around, and this is a big shift by these guys. You got the big dogs out there, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully Tails can turn it around with Rossi and who else is playing with Ike there, so we'll see what happens.
The goal goes to Anthony Petruzzelli, his 4th from A.J. Jenks and Taylor Doherty at 12:48, an even strength goal for Fort Wayne. Again, the Komets and the K-Wings, neither team has taken a penalty at this point. 32 minutes and 48 seconds into this game.
That's pretty amazing, actually.
And that's actually probably a good thing for Kalamazoo in the sense that Fort Wayne's power plays had so much success in the season series.
They got a good power play. They got some good weapons out there. Sidlowski's pretty good in the power play. Obviously, veteran guy. He's been around for a while, so he knows what he's doing.
Center ice face-off here at Wings Event Center. McKenzie and Taylor on the draw. Fort Wayne gets the first lead tonight, 1-0, 7:11 now left in the second as we're back in action out of the Kalamazoo timeout. Ross deflects it in behind the Fort Wayne net. Taylor hustles in after it. McKenzie tries to help. It squirts free and is led up the right wing and out to center. Sidlowski now for Fort Wayne. He'll launch it into the Kalamazoo zone. Lazarchuk is the first to the puck. He takes a hit, but spun off it for the most part. Wilson went in for a big collision. Up the right wing, Ike Capelli leads it to the line, and it comes out to center before Martin shot it back in. Offsides the call with 6:45 left in the second. Again, Fort Wayne with the game's first lead. Anthony Petruzzelli's 4th of the year.
Looking like Willie's trying to change the tides a bit here with, he goes for a big hit on, I don't know who it was in the corner there, but, that's Willie, our captain. If he's not doing one thing, he's doing another. He's doing anything to help us get going if we need it, and, that's the reason why he has the C on his jersey.
Well, it's really the first time this year that we've seen Coach Boudlin call his timeout in a situation like that, rather than a strategy-type timeout late in a game with a lead or a deficit and a goalie getting pulled type situation. It's the first time he's really called that timeout to fire up the troops, and see if it pays off with the Wilson there going in to try to lead by example on that last hit. This is centered out front. A backhander is knocked away. It went off a body. Jermaine Lowen had the chance. Adam Dowda now in the corner, collides with Lowen. Aaron Tho comes over to help, but it's taken back, and now Sanvito will circle the net. Tries a sharp angle shot, saved by Kiley. Rebound went off of Tho, and it's swept up to the point by Lowen. Here's a shot from Stewart that's blocked, hops high in the air. Stewart knocks it down with the glove, and this will be touched up by the Komets. It'll be a hand pass, and it'll bring everything outside the zone with 6:06 left in the second.
Yeah, hopefully we get something going here. We played a decent amount of this period in the defensive zone, and, I've talked about it. I probably sound like a broken record, but we got to get the puck low and, get to work there. That's where we're our best. If we try and go track meet with another team, it doesn't usually work out for us. So, it just starts from the D zone, making good passes, supporting each other, and, sticking to the game plan. And it's a one-goal game right now. It's nothing that we can't come back from.
Fort Wayne last night suffered a 5-3 loss to the Brampton Beast at Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne. It was their 5th consecutive loss. 2 of them were in overtime, but the Komets had 6 wins in a row before dropping 6 of their last 7. Kalamazoo came in riding a 3-game winning streak and scoring 17 goals in the last 3 games, but it's been a defensive showdown. Through center comes Bowdens, poke checked away, and then Gallipo will shoot it in towards the goal. Kiley gets a piece of it, and in behind the net, it's scooped up by Eric Catalyst. 5:40 left in the second period, 1-0 Komets. Diamond Tony tried to push it back to his defense, but misfires, and Gallipo takes it away. Centers went out front, and Blaney comes away with the puck. Saucers it ahead for Sadaway. Dylan Sadaway skates in, left wing, rips a shot, kick save Ferguson, and it's swatted out of harm's way by Doherty back to center. Wilson in the neutral zone, circles back into his own end. Saucers it up ice for Sadaway. Across the rink, Catalyst will have to play the carom. And Bowdens went in for the big collision with Sadaway. Remember, the first game of the season, those two dropped the gloves in Fort Wayne, October 12th. This one's deflected at the Kalamazoo bench. Ike Capelli rips it in around the Komet net. Jenks is able to clear. Lazarchuk will chase, but this will be icing on Fort Wayne with 4:58 left in the second. And the faceoff will come back in front of Dylan Ferguson, who has seen 6 shots in the second period. His team, though, has put up 19 shots on Jake Kiley, which is tied for the most against Kalamazoo in a single period this season.
Yeah, we just got to, get some sustained pressure here down low. It was good rush by Sads there. He kind of handcuffed the goalie, actually, with, he can shoot from anywhere. He can score from anywhere. I think the goalie's not always guessing, but they just got to be in their best position whenever he's coming down the ice.
It'll be a blocker side face-off in front of Dylan Ferguson. Won by Jenks. And the Komets will try to clear it up the left wing for Lazarchik, who inches his way towards center. Crosses the center red line, carries it further along into the Kalamazoo zone, tries a wrist shot that hops into the glove of Kiley. That low shot on the ice, one-hopped Kiley. 4:45 left in the second period. That should be our second and final media timeout here of the second period, if I'm not mistaken. And so far nobody has, there we go. Timeout on the ice. Fort Wayne with a 1-0 lead. Anthony Petruzzelli has broken the scoreless deadlock here in the second. We're back with more. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan.
Ever wish you could visit Italy but just can't afford it? Don't worry. Jasper's Pizza and Fine Italian Food will be your tour guide as you go on a culinary tour of Italy. With the best ingredients shipped straight from Italy, Jasper's made-from-scratch sauces, pastas, and pizza won't disappoint. Jasper's, located at 5190 Gull Road, is the place to go for all your pizza and pasta needs. Jasper's has been in business since 1977 and still serving the great food today.
Do you want the opportunity to create great memories with your friends without being tied to specific dates or times? Check out the Kalamazoo Wings Flexi Plant. With 12, 24, and 36 packs available, you can pick which games you want to attend and who you want to attend the games with. Starting at just $183, Flexi Packs give you the perks while enjoying hockey on your own time. For more information, call the K-Wings at 269-345-1125 or go online to kwings.com. Welcome back to Wings Event Center here in Kalamazoo, where the K-Wings trail the Fort Wayne Komets 1-0. 4:45 left in the second period. Anthony Petruzzelli with the first goal of tonight's game for Fort Wayne here in the second period. Kalamazoo looking for that first one. Face off in the defensive zone to the right of Jake Kiley. It's pushed over to the near board. Sidlowski and Taylor will battle for it. Lazarchuk battling for it in the corner. It comes up to the right wing side and rolls up to the point, but Ike Capelli takes it away. Poke checked at the line, though, and held in. Sidlowski drops it down low, and Lazarchuk couldn't pull the trigger, but we're going to get our first penalty of the game, and it's going to be on Ben Wilson for slashing as Lazarchuk was upended on his way to the net. But the first power play will go to the Komets here. Time of the penalty, 15:32, and Fort Wayne will have an opportunity to add to their lead.
Yeah, that was tough. Ike had the guy standing still and just couldn't get it by him. And, they snapped it back down low. It seemed like we were going to be going off on the offense. And, that's the stuff that happens. If you don't get the puck out right away, it's tough because everyone's going forwards. And, in that situation, they just snapped it back down low and they had a good chance.
Fort Wayne's power play on the slashing minor to Wilson. The Komets' power play coming in is 23.3%, which is fourth in the ECHL. Against Kalamazoo, though, the Komets have scored at least one power play goal in every single game in the season series, but now it's going to be matched up as we're going to get a hooking call. Bowdens is going to go to the box as he hooks up Tho, and that'll even things up 4-on-4, 2 seconds into the Fort Wayne power play. So they're 0 for 1.
Yeah, that helps for sure. I like our team 4-on-4. We got a lot of good D-men who can, jump up in the rush, like Catman and, Thousy. But also those guys down low, like Sads will be able to get open. Blaney's so good with the puck and controlling the puck that 4-on-4 is his game, even better than 3-on-3.
Yeah, so a lot of open ice here for both teams with 4:26 left in the second period. Just 2 seconds separating the Wilson penalty from the Bowdens hooking minor that was called moments ago. And the face-off here will be to the right of Dylan Ferguson.
That was a good kill, JP.
Yeah, the successful kill. As Fort Wayne goes 0 for 1 on their first power play that lasted 2 seconds. Bryson Martin in behind his net, chased by Blaney. Martin turns back and puts on the brakes behind Dylan Ferguson's cage. Left wing now for A.J. Jenks. Again, lots of open ice on a 4-on-4 for almost a full 2 minutes. Kicked into the Kalamazoo end by Petruzzelli. First to the puck, though, was Tho. And it's shoveled up the right wing by Sadaway. Tho knocks it out to center, and Jenks will scoop it up in the neutral zone. Coming up in our second intermission, we'll be joined by ECHL Commissioner Ryan Creelan, who is here in town for this game tonight. Catch up with him about all things ECHL as we approach the midway point of the 32nd season. Brought in here by A.J. Jenks, right circle, stick handles into the right corner of the Kalamazoo zone. Knocked away by Aaron Tho. Jenks lost an edge. The puck was underneath momentarily. Catalyst comes away with it. Tries to headman it for Sadaway. It was a little behind him, but they'll say it was deflected. No icing. Gallipo circles his net for Fort Wayne. 3.5 minutes to play here in the second period. 1-0 Komets. Gallipo rips a shot. Glove saved by Kiley. He'll hang on to it, and the face-off will be in the Kalamazoo end. 3:26 left here in the period.
Yeah, I wasn't sure why they waved that one off. I don't know what it hit in the middle. I think it even caught Sads off guard, too. He might have stopped skating a bit, but those are tough, especially, when you think it's an automatic icing and they don't call it. But
it must have been a funny bounce on the kind of hopped in the neutral zone on that headman pass, and maybe they thought it deflected off somebody. But
yeah, it must have.
Either way, Kalamazoo wins this defensive zone face-off. Ian Edmondson skates away from pressure and carries it up the right wing and out to center. Edmondson all the way to the line, but lost the handle as it's taken off his stick by McKenzie and brought back the other way for Fort Wayne. He gets around Dunn, then behind the net. Up to the left point, Gallipo sets up in the middle of the blue line. Down into the left circle, it's Sidlowski. Sidlowski stick handles and reverses the puck. Now Gallipo rips a shot that's blocked by Taylor. That's got to be the third or fourth blocked shot tonight for Justin Taylor.
Yeah, Tails can eat him big time, and that's why he's a great player and, great teammate. Great guy defensively.
Corey Dunn will start back out towards center. Left wing, it's Garrett Ross. Ross will carry it into the Fort Wayne zone. Ross in the left circle, rips a shot that's blocked and bounces in behind the net. Ross gets it back. Garrett Ross angles it up to Schmidt at the half wall. On the right wing, back in behind the net now, left corner Taylor. 7 seconds left on the Wilson penalty, 9 left on the Bowden's penalty. We'll be back to 5-on-5 in a moment. 2.5 minutes to play here in the second period. Wilson is out of the box. Bowden's is out of the box. And here's a shot from Bayless with a stick save from Jake Kiley. Up to the left wing half wall, Lazarchuk. That's knocked down by Bayless in front. It one hops into the glove of Kiley, who will hold on to that puck with 2:17 left in the second period. So both teams are 0 for 1 on 2-second power plays.
Yeah, here we go. We're evened up now.
Back to 5-on-5. That's been pretty much the whole game tonight.
Yeah, it seems strange. That's what we were talking about in the TV timeout. That's the most I've seen probably this year without a penalty. And, it's kind of nice to see, but, we could use a power play once in a while, and, we could have used one there for the first little bit.
Well, and on that note, Kalamazoo's power play has been rolling as of late with a power play goal, at least one in 7 of the last 9 games. And 2 in the last 2 games.
Yeah, they've been unreal, and, it's why we need the power play. You got to win the special teams battles if you want to win the game, so it's, hopefully we can get one here.
Fort Wayne in their own end. Chase Stewart up the right wing. Held in at the left point. No, they'll say it cleared the zone, so delayed offside. Everybody tags up. Dowda now closes in as it's shot out to center by Haas. In the neutral zone, knocked down by Schmidt, but followed up by Lowen with numbers. He'll center it for Sanvito, and a shot's tipped just wide of the net. Sandler comes away with it. Transition if the K-Wings can hurry out to center. And kind of a little mumbo-jumbled in the neutral zone. They can't get much going as it's dumped down low by Dowda, and everybody will change as Wilson steps up, finds Kovacs in the right circle. Backdoor pass and a skate as it was blocked by Binkley. And Taylor Ross will work his way out to center for Fort Wayne. On the right wing, carries it in, drops it off to Bowden's in the circle. Bowden's chip it to himself. Wilson went down and knocked that one down. Bryson Martin at the left point, drops it down to Bowden's at the half wall, further into the corner for Jenks. 1:10 left in the second period. Petruzzelli's unable to hold the zone. Binkley has to skate back out to center. 1-0 Fort Wayne in a low-scoring affair here at Wings Event Center. Approaching now the final minute of play here in the second. Binkley in his own end. Starts back out. Binkley up the right wing, deflected in by Petruzzelli. In behind the Kalamazoo net. Kiley lets it go. Wilson will skate it back up the right wing and out. Ben Wilson cuts back across the middle now. Left wing, it's Sadaway into the zone. Across the rink, it's Diamond Tony right circle. His shot's blocked by Martin. Back down low, Blaney taps it along further for Sadaway. Sadaway into the left circle, centers one. Blaney catches it, turns, skates to the top of the circle, now to the point. Blaney all the way around the zone, tries to stay with it, had a stick slash by Binkley. Play continues, though, as the puck works its way out of the zone. With 20 seconds left here in the second period, McKenzie will just slowly skate it back in behind his net. Final 15. Bryson Martin launches it to center for Lazarchuk. It hopped his stick, and Corey Dunn tried to play it back ahead, but it caught a skate. Now brought in by Sidlowski towards the net. Sidlowski with the wraparound opportunity on the spinorama. Kiley with a huge right pad save at the last minute. Right before the buzzer, Kiley robbed Sidlowski with the right pad, and the score stays 1-0.
Oh, man, what a save, especially with that much time left. That's huge. That'll hopefully I can get the boys going in the intermission and start off with a better third period.
dangerous waters at the end. Fort Wayne dominated the second period, but they only got one goal to show for it, and Kalamazoo trails by just one heading into the third. Shots are 32-17 through 2 periods. We'll come back with our second intermission. We'll be joined by the commissioner of the ECHL, Ryan Creelan, after this. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan. Do you want to stop the suffering of aches and pains? Are you wanting to look, feel, and live better? Would you like to recover faster to get yourself back on the playing field? U.S. Cryotherapy is the place for you. Located off of West Nidge, we offer whole body and localized treatments, as well as many others, from the everyday person to pro athletes. We've got something for everyone. Call us today at 269-993-0947 for more information, or go online to uscryotherapy.com. U.S. Cryotherapy, the official recovery center of your Kalamazoo Wings.
Zemlick Office Products is a second-generation, family-owned company with 5 different locations based in Southwest Michigan. They can supply everything for your office, church, school, or break room. They carry it all, from ink, toner, and paper, to furniture, safety vests, and light bulbs. Zemlick serves customers of all sizes in Michigan and northern Indiana. There is no customer too small or too large. Place your order today via their website at zemlick.com, or you can give them a call at 866-936-5425.
When you're getting ready for a move, look no further than Allied Van Lines. Their world-class crew of full-service movers will make sure your moving gets done quickly and carefully. Whether your next move is in residential transfer across the interstate or corporate relocation around the world, Allied's team knows exactly how to help. Get your free quote today by calling 269-345-6111.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 32nd season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would also like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, official signage provider; A&R Sports, official hockey accessory supplier; Athletic Knit, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Risk and Insurance, and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2020 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony. Ephesus Lighting, the preferred lighting partner of the ECHL. The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider. Geico, official auto insurance of the ECHL. Handbit, the official mobile auction app. Honig's, the official partner of the ECHL officiating team. Howie's Hockey Tape, official hockey tape and lace provider. In Glasgow, official puck provider. Migrate Group, your source for game-worn jerseys. Ticket Galaxy, official ticket resale partner. And Warrior, official on-ice equipment provider of the ECHL. Catch all the live ECHL action in high definition by logging on to ECHL.tv.
Big Ben Maller.
It's the Ben Maller Show. Ben Maller.
You might not hear this anywhere else. Tom Coughlin was fired by the NFL Players Association. Wasn't fired by Shad Khan. He was fired by the union. They sent out a statement and implied that players should avoid signing as free agents in Jacksonville because of Coughlin.
Ben, I love you.
Weekday mornings at 2 on 1660 The Fan.
Welcome back to Wings Event Center here in Kalamazoo for affiliation night, as the K-Wings, honoring their affiliation with the Vancouver Canucks and the Utica Komets, trail the Fort Wayne Komets 1-0 after 2 periods of play. We're joined by a special guest here in the second intermission. That is Commissioner of the ECHL, Ryan Creelan. First of all, thanks for doing this. The last time I saw you was in Las Vegas at the summer meetings. What brings you to Kalamazoo?
Well, try and make the rounds to all the teams over the course of the year, and making the Midwest swing this time of year, so it works out with Fort Wayne, Kalamazoo, Toledo this time around.
Not so bad. Since taking over as the commissioner, what's 1 or 2 things maybe you're most proud of so far in the time you've been commissioner of the league?
So I've been with the league for 14, 15 years now, so they all kind of run together.
Yeah.
Prior to commissioner, I think 2 of the things that stand out were getting into the EA Sports game. That's something I worked long and hard on, and very, very proud of the Geico deal as well. A nationwide deal, big partnership for us, a little bit unique on the ice. Since taking over, I think it's been the focus on entertainment and community.
Yeah.
We've expanded our licensing deals with some big entertainment brands like Marvel, Nickelodeon, and now DC Comics this year. And, creating some awards internally that are focused on community, the teams that are doing the most in their market to give back to those that support us. So I guess since taking the role, those are 2 of the big things.
Those seem to be ones that have taken off, too. The Marvel one now, with a few years in, has been a big success, and the Nickelodeon one I think was a big hit last year coming into this season. We still haven't had those two yet this year, but that DC Comics, the first year of it, Wonder Woman Night, was a huge success here in November in Kalamazoo. So we had some unique jerseys, we'll put it that way. I'm sure you probably saw them, and the fans seemed to like it. So, and it worked out getting the win, too. We're here with Ryan Creelan, the commissioner of the ECHL. So a few rule changes this year coming in, and I think maybe to enhance the experience for the fans. And really the big one, the most obvious one, is overtime being extended to 7 minutes of 3-on-3. How much have you seen that really be talked about? I mean, in conversations, not only at this level from the fans, but maybe other levels kind of focusing in and maybe wanting to take the lead. We took the lead in it, I guess, as the ECHL, and other leagues might follow suit.
Yeah, no, we pride ourselves on being a developmental league for players, coaches, front office staff, broadcasters, and I think we can also take a lead in developing the game and trying things, that potentially other leagues will follow. We put that to our competition committee. They evaluated it. We talked through it. They recommended it. Our board ultimately adopted it. I can tell you when I was on NHL Network, it was the first thing they wanted to talk about because, it's unique and new. But, this is year one. We're going to try it. We'll see what the stats are and analyze it. Will it stick around? I don't know. But, again, that's part of being a development league and trying new things.
One man's opinion. I love it. I couldn't stand the shootout, and we haven't had a single shootout this year in Kalamazoo. I think 6 overtime games. A few of them have gone past that 5-minute threshold. So it's awesome. I think it's great to kind of keep people talking, and I think the fans certainly enjoy that element with so much open ice and the 3-on-3.
Yeah, I mean, I think there are still fans that enjoy the shootout.
Oh, absolutely.
But the feedback we got in general was that they also enjoy the 3-on-3. We heard from the players and coaches that they want to see it settled on a full sheet of ice versus a half sheet. And, again, we kicked it around, certainly weighed the pros and cons. We even had a proposal to go to 10 minutes of overtime. But we felt 7 was the right number, and so, again, we're trying it out.
The ECHL All-Star Classics coming up in Wichita here next month. And maybe what's one thing you're most looking forward to? And I guess how do you top last year's event in Toledo? That was a huge success.
Yeah, no, last year was a ton of fun. New format we tried last year. Got a ton of positive feedback out of it. So we're rolling that again over into to this year's event. Lots of fun and exciting things planned around the event in terms of our Hall of Fame dinner and our 13th induction class, the Fan Fest, bringing the Hockey Hall of Fame and the Stanley Cup to the event. And I think one thing that's pretty cool this year that we're bringing into the game is we'll have couple of members of the PWHPA, some female players, Olympic gold medalists, and get them involved in the game as well. So a unique addition for sure.
Here with Ryan Creelan, the commissioner of the ECHL. Last year, Newfoundland ended up winning the Kelly Cup in their inaugural season, and it was the first Canadian team ever to hoist the Kelly Cup. How good was that for the game with not a new market, but I guess a new team in that market, and continuing the growth of the ECHL into additional markets, as you guys always are kind of looking for options maybe that would work?
Yeah, no. I mean, certainly going into it, you don't necessarily think an expansion team or market is going to win the whole thing.
Yeah.
But as you say, it's not a new market to minor league hockey. They have tradition in the AHL, and the staff there, the affiliation they were able to put together with the Maple Leafs, which again dates back to the AHL days, really helped solidify their on-ice product. And listen, it was a competitive playoff. It was a very competitive final as well. Could have gone either way. But Newfoundland, took it home. They won it fair and square. And at the end of the day, it did get a lot of publicity, certainly in Canada, and I think that helped showcase the ECHL.
My final one for you, I guess. What's the biggest goal for the ECHL going through the rest of the season and going forward into the summer and future years?
The main goal always for me at the top of the list is to develop new fans and fill our arenas. That's priority A1. And welcome new fans to the game. Maybe they don't know hockey at first, but develop them over the long haul. I think our on-ice product is excellent.
Yeah.
We've continued to cement our position as the premier AA hockey league in North America. To start the season this year, we had the most NHL, AHL contracts ever in our history, and again, that's reflected in the on-ice product. But we've got to welcome new people who don't necessarily know about the game, to let them come out, experience the atmosphere, and hopefully learn hockey and become fans for the long haul.
Well, thanks for doing this. I appreciate you stopping up here during your stay in Kalamazoo, and we'll talk to you very soon, I'm sure, to go about the rest of the season. If not, then at summer meetings again in Vegas.
You'll see me there. Happy holidays, man. Thank you.
Happy holidays. Ryan Creelan, everybody, the commissioner of the ECHL. We are back after this with more of our second intermission from Wings Event Center. Kalamazoo trails Fort Wayne 1-0 after 2. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan.
We're the home of the Chicago Cubs, K-Wings, WMU Women's Basketball, and high school sports. 1660 The Fan, WQLR, Kalamazoo, Portage.
Positivity. It's more than a saying. It's the driving force behind our health system. It's in our employees, our providers, our patients. It's in the choices we make to improve healthcare for you and the ways we work together to advance the health of our community. At Bronson, we live positivity, because positivity is what inspires us to go above and beyond. Find out what it can do for you at bronsonpositivity.com or follow us on Facebook.
Yeah, my friends are surprised I'm here tonight. Every time a good show came through, I had an excuse. I gotta take care of the kids, I gotta work late. Honestly, I just didn't have room in the budget. Recently, I found out I could save a ton of money by transferring my credit cards and auto loan to Advia Credit Union, and it was simple. Now I have my own concert fund set aside and am ready to rock at a moment's notice. I just don't remember it being this loud in college.
It's simple. Transfer your loans to Advia Credit Union online or at a branch. We'll handle the rest. All loans subject to approval. Rates and terms may vary based on creditworthiness of borrower.
Craig Culver and daughter Brittany on Culver's Chicken Tenders.
Brittany, I know you're particular about what your boys eat.
Chicken tenders rank high on my list. It doesn't have fillers. It's a whole piece of chicken.
Chicken tenders are the true tenderloin of the breast.
When you bite into it, it's like you're biting into an actual chicken breast that you just made at home.
If it's not good enough for my family, it's not good enough.
That's a good rule to live by.
Welcome to Delicious.
Enjoy the farm fresh taste of Culver's at one of 4 area locations.
Host your event at Wings Event Center. With a hospitality-first mentality, you can rest easy knowing your event is in good hands. Conveniently located directly off I-94 in Kalamazoo with top-notch technological capabilities, in-house catering available, and intimate to large event spaces, you'll be set up for success at Wings Event Center. Visit wingseventcenter.com to learn more about booking your next event in Kalamazoo.
We get it. Life doesn't always let you do everything you want. With the Kalamazoo Wings 5 and 3 packs, you get the best games, the best seats, and the best food at one low price. You can enjoy all the hard-hitting action without breaking the bank or missing out on any big games. Packages are limited, so pick up the phone and call 269-488-8158 or go online to kwings.com to get yours ordered today. Don't wait, because they'll be gone before you know it.
There are so many ways to like us.
Let's go to the stat sheet.
Following us on Twitter at Fox Sports Radio.
I like them a lot.
Listening on iHeartRadio.
I like it tight.
Listening right here.
We're here about the truth.
Podcasting.
Huh.
The list goes on and on.
I like how you took that to its extreme.
And this is why you like us.
This is why.
We don't tie you down.
Good for you. I like that.
So be free and find that listening side piece.
And with that,
1660 The Fan.
Welcome back to Kalamazoo here at Affiliate Night at Wings Event Center. Kalamazoo taking on the Fort Wayne Komets, trailing 1-0 after 2 periods as Anthony Petruzzelli broke the scoreless deadlock for Fort Wayne at 12:48, his 4th of the year from A.J. Jenks and Taylor Doherty. Komets outshooting Kalamazoo 32-17. That second period, 25-6 in favor of Fort Wayne. That is the most shots against for Kalamazoo in a single period this season. The previous high mark was 19 shots against. And again, Fort Wayne had 25 in the second period. Jake Kiley has been outstanding for Kalamazoo, even with his team trailing by 1. He's stopped 31 of 32 shots. Dylan Ferguson at the other end has stopped all 17 as he carries a shutout into the third. Meanwhile, we'll take a look at some other ECHL scores as brought to you by Tower Pinkster. A final score from South Carolina where the Stingrays blanked the Orlando Solar Bears 3-0 at North Charleston Coliseum. Kansas City's up 2-0 in Indianapolis after 1 period at Indiana Farmers Coliseum. We have a final score from Bon Secours Wellness Arena in Greenville. Swamp Rabbits lead Norfolk 4-2. Actually, that game is a final. As I mentioned, it just went final. 4-2, the Swamp Rabbits beat the Admirals. Jacksonville is trailing Florida 5-1 in Estero, Florida. The Everblades lead going into the third. Reading is being beaten 6-0 right now. The Adirondack Thunder are up with about 13 and a half minutes left in the third at Glens Falls, New York. Maine 1-0 over Worcester. That is early in the third period. Wichita is at Rapid City tonight. Tulsa is in Utah, and Allen is at Idaho tonight. CenturyLink Arena in Boise, Idaho. And that is your ECHL scoreboard segment. The Utica Komets are in action. They are taking on the Lehigh Valley Phantoms in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and Utica is up 3-2. Taking a look at our affiliates. Tanner Sorensen is in the lineup tonight for the Utica Komets. Again, they're up 3-2 against Lehigh Valley. That is after 2 periods. In the NHL, the Vancouver Canucks are in action later tonight at home against the LA Kings. That starts at 10 o'clock Eastern. We're back with the start of the third period after this. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan. Old Burdick's has burgers, beers, big screens, and we take watching the big game seriously. Grab a beer bucket, house-smoked wings, or a handcrafted burger, and take in the energy and excitement like you're at the game itself. Stop into either of the Old Burdick's locations, downtown Kalamazoo, inside of the Radisson Plaza Hotel, or at Wings West off of 9th Street. Hey fans, be sure to check out ECHL.TV, the live streaming destination for the 2019-20 season. Catch all the latest live action from across the premier AA Hockey League, including multi-game high-definition view and playback functionality on both your PC, mobile, and OTT devices. Visit ECHL.TV today to get into the game and never miss the action.
Hey, we just landed. We'll be home in 10 minutes.
The Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport. Safe, simple, convenient. Going out or coming home, it's the hassle-free way to travel, with parking right outside the new terminal. And now, AZO is even easier. That's right. The Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport is easier than distant airports, and easier than ever before, right in your backyard. Now there are more flights with larger jets, more first-class seats, a new Comfort Plus class with extra legroom, and introducing new basic economy fares. Whether you're traveling for business or leisure, flying in and out of AZO improves your entire experience. The Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport. Fly home. Be home.
Looking for a fun, fast-paced way to spend your weekend or night out with coworkers and friends? With packages for 10 friends or 200 coworkers, look no further than K-Wings Hockey. With on-site catering and private event spaces available, a K-Wings hockey game is the perfect place to enjoy the company of whoever you want while watching Kalamazoo's only professional sports team. Call us today at 269-345-1125 or go online to kwings.com for more information or to book your group today.
I'm a sucker for you.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
Mark Jackson, he's calling the Lakers-Clippers showdown on Christmas night. Who's in better shape, the Lakers or the Clippers?
Both teams have a legitimate chance to win it all. The Clippers have probably better depth.
What is the one thing that worries you about the Lakers?
I think they need somebody else that can create offense to take the pressure off of LeBron and Anthony Davis.
Dan Patrick.
And here they are.
Weekday mornings at 9 on 1660 The Fan.
Welcome back to Wings Event Center as we are ready for the start of the third period. Kalamazoo and Fort Wayne meeting for the 7th time this year. The Komets have a 1-0 lead after 2, outshooting Kalamazoo 32-17. We are underway here in the third. A.J. Jenks wins the opening faceoff. It's shot in around the Kalamazoo net by Bryson Martin. Swept around the boards by Jake Kiley, the goaltender, as Jenks will cycle it in behind the net. Bowdens and Dunn battle for it. Bowdens will break free, tries to carry it to the right circle, leads it up to the line for Binkley. That shot's tipped in front, bouncing puck. Jenks with a backhander, saved by Kiley. Rebound loose in the crease. Kiley finds it as it went off a skate. Petruzzelli was on the doorstep and nearly hammered it home for his second of the game, but Kiley kept it out of the net. And just 23 seconds into the third period, Fort Wayne already challenging the Kalamazoo goaltender who's been busy tonight, Jake Kiley. Again, 1-0 the score in favor of Fort Wayne. Petruzzelli has the only goal, his fourth of the year at the 12:48 mark from Jenks and Doherty. And Fort Wayne had 25 shots in that second period, which is the most allowed by Kalamazoo in a single frame all year. This will be a glove side faceoff in front of Kiley. Brett McKenzie comes on to face Justin Taylor. It comes to the point. Sidlowski flips a shot high and wide. Held in at by Martin. In behind the net now. It's turned over in front, and Taylor skips it ahead. Ikapelli chases. Ferguson will play it away from Ikapelli, but stepping up to help Garrett Ross, left circle. Drops it off for Matty Ikapelli. Up the left wing boards. To the line, Wilson. Left circle, Taylor, and his shot flips wide of the cage. On the right wing, Garrett Ross. Ross down in the corner. Changes directions now as the puck's underneath. He's tripped up on the play as it's swatted out to center by McKenzie. Here's Edmondson in his own end. Up ice for Taylor, backhanded into the offensive zone. This is going to be icing on Kalamazoo. 19:01 left in the third period. It's still 1-0 Fort Wayne. 34-17 are the shots. These teams have met 7 times, including tonight. The next meeting will be tomorrow in Fort Wayne at 5 o'clock Eastern time at Memorial Coliseum, where Kalamazoo has yet to win. They are 0-2 in Fort Wayne, falling 5-2 on October 12th and losing 7-2 on November 15th at Allen County War Memorial Coliseum. Led out to center by Edmondson. Brought ahead by Ross on the left wing. The rest of the line changes for Kalamazoo. Fresh legs on the ice is brought in by Bayless. Big open ice collision there with Connor Schmidt upending Bayless. Brought up the middle and saucered out to center by Dunn. Carried ahead by Luke Sandler. Left wing, tries a sharp angle shot. Kick save made by Ferguson as it's carried back up the middle by Doherty and brought in on the left wing by Taylor Ross. He gets around a hip check. Ross in the left circle has his shot blocked as it bounces wide into the right wing boards. A.J. Jenks leads it in behind the net. Ross lost an edge in front. Stepping up from the point was Gallipo to keep it in. This bouncing puck will work its way towards the point, and Kovacs is able to get it out to center, but Gallipo will retreat into his own end. And again, Kalamazoo will get a full line change here with 18:05 left in the third. Still 1-0 Fort Wayne. Lifted in behind the Kalamazoo net. Eric Catalyst with the puck. Catalyst will stick handle over to the right corner. Starts up the wall. Sails it out to center. As it bounces into the neutral zone, it's batted ahead by Tho. Sadaway is able to shovel it into the offensive zone, but it's carried out quickly by A.J. Jenks. And his pass misses Petruzzelli. Kiley will steer it into the right corner. Petruzzelli cycles it, but Catalyst steps up to intercept. Catalyst will race up the left wing. He's got Sadaway. Across the rink, tape to tape for Blaney. Into the Fort Wayne zone. It was deflected at the line, and they're going to call offside here on the K-Wings. That'll bring everything back out into the neutral zone. It's kind of been that kind of game for Kalamazoo. They haven't been able to get much going in the neutral zone or on their breakouts. And give Fort Wayne a lot of credit with their neutral zone pressure. Attendance tonight, 2,856 here at Wings Event Center. Justin Taylor on the dot against McKenzie. And it's swatted in by Ben Wilson down into the Fort Wayne corner. First of the puck was Stewart. Led it up the right wing, but Garrett Ross intercepted. Edmondson tries to pinch. He holds the zone. Here's Ross again. Flings one that deflects over the Fort Wayne net and out of play. This should be an offensive zone draw for the K-Wings. And they'll keep that line out there. Taylor, Ross, and Ikapelli with Edmondson and Wilson. 17-16 left here in the third. 1-0 Fort Wayne. Shots are 34-18. Justin Taylor on the dot, going up against McKenzie. Blocker side of Ferguson. They drop the puck, and McKenzie wins it. In behind the net is Martin. Led up the left wing for Sidlowski. And Sidlowski lobs it to center. It's knocked down by Ross and scooped up by Taylor. Justin Taylor right back in, winds and fires and sails it over the top of the net as this is batted back out to center ice. Ikapelli steers it back for Wilson. It rolled off his stick and is pushed ahead by Sidlowski into the offensive zone. Sidlowski winds up, then couldn't pull the trigger as it's kicked back out by Ikapelli, and he's tripped up by Sidlowski as Kalamazoo is going to get their second power play of this hockey game. Sean Sidlowski will go to the box for Fort Wayne, and a golden opportunity now for Kalamazoo's power play has been rolling as of late. They have at least one power play goal in 7 of their last 9 games. But against Fort Wayne this year, Kalamazoo is just 3 for 28 on the man advantage. The Komets penalty kill has been 89.3% successful in this season series. Overall, they are just 79.8%, which is 20th in the ECHL. Sidlowski for tripping. The last time Kalamazoo had a power play was 2 seconds long when the Fort Wayne power play was negated by a Matthew Bowden's penalty 2 seconds in. And this one's lobbed out of play by Petruzzelli, and it's going to be delay of game, and that's going to make it a 5-on-3 for a minute 54. So Kalamazoo's going to have a 5-on-3 man advantage for almost a full 2 minutes as Anthony Petruzzelli's clearing attempt was lifted out of play on his backhand. The fans knew it right away, and now the K-Wings need to convert. This is a huge moment for Kalamazoo to try to tie this hockey game. They haven't been able to get a lot of scoring chances since that first period. They have just 7 shots since the end of the first period. And now they bring on Blaney, Taylor, Sadoway, Ikapelli, and Catalyst are the 5 skaters on this power play. A 5-on-3, Kalamazoo on the Culver's power play here. Fort Wayne wins the faceoff, and it's lifted all the way down. This will go on goal as Kiley stops the puck and shovels it ahead for Catalyst. Catalyst works his way up the right wing. It's Jenks, Binkley, and Doherty are the 3 penalty killers. Catalyst goes all the way in behind the net, wraps it around the boards for Sadoway at the left point, and the K-Wings get set up. Here's Ikapelli, top of the right circle. Catalyst in the middle, high in the slot. Ikapelli, one-timer, and that one's blocked. Doherty in the corner. Lost it, though, to Taylor. Doherty hustles after it, knocks Taylor up against the corner boards and pins the puck there. Ikapelli tries to dig it free with help from Sadoway. It's still tied up for the moment. And finally, it's freed. Walking in is Catalyst, who shoots up high, and he sailed it over the net, up into the glass. Blaney on the left wing. Komets try to clear, but it caught Jenks and stays in. Now Jenks is heckled at the half wall. Swept to the line by Blaney. Catalyst goes across, but misses Ikapelli. Now Doherty in the corner. Tries to free it up, and Jenks' clearing attempt was knocked down by Sadoway and held in. Catalyst swings it across. It's Blaney with 53 seconds left on the 5-on-3. 58 left on the second penalty. Here's a centering pass from Blaney that's broken up. Loose in front, Ikapelli. He scores! Matty Ikapelli ends Ferguson shutout on the 5-on-3 as the puck worked its way into the slot. Kalamazoo ties the game at 1. Matty Ikapelli, his 7th of the year. And there's still some time left on the Petruzzelli delay of game penalty as Kalamazoo will have an opportunity to try to take their first lead. That puck came right into the slot area, and Ikapelli was able to slide it by Ferguson on the 20th Kalamazoo shot. Taylor was standing on the edge of the crease, but that should be Ikapelli's goal, and we'll see if there are any assists here. I believe there won't be, as Fort Wayne tried to clear it. Binkley on his backhand gave it right to Ikapelli, who fired it past Ferguson. 15:35 left in the third period. It's 1-1. There's 45 seconds left on the minor to Petruzzelli. Here's Aaron Tho back up the left wing. It will be unassisted to Ikapelli at 4:23, his 7th of the year. Kalamazoo back in the offensive corner. It's Aaron Tho. Garrett Ross swings it around the boards, but nobody was home, and Corey Dunn has to chase it down back in his own end. 25 seconds left on the minor to Anthony Petruzzelli. 1-1 the score. 15:08 left here in the third. Corey Dunn stick handles out to center. Crosses over the offensive blue line. Wraps it in around the Komet net. Olivier Galipeau tries to clear. Has help from McKenzie, and they do clear it. Out into the neutral zone, it's Stephen Bayless. Poke checked away, though, by Tho and brought ahead by Ikapelli with 5 seconds left in the man advantage. Ikapelli right back in. Right wing half wall. Ikapelli centers tip. They score! Justin Taylor! And Kalamazoo's in front. He taps it in from the edge of the crease. It was right as the penalty was expiring to Petruzzelli. It'll be Taylor from Ikapelli, and the K-Wings have their first lead. Not sure if it'll go into the books as an even strength goal or a power play goal, but Justin Taylor has goals in 4 consecutive games. Ikapelli with the setup pass, backdoor for Taylor, taps it into an open cage. 2-1 Kalamazoo with 14:44 to play here in the third. 2 goals in under a minute. Corey Dunn will wrap it in around the Fort Wayne net. Ferguson stops the puck. It is swept around the near side for Taylor Ross. Pressure put on from Dauda. Here's Justin Kovacs. Up to the line now. Held in by Dauda. Down in the corner, Kovacs. Back to Dauda. Rips a shot with a screen. Loose puck on a collision, and coming away with it is Jermaine Lowen. He'll sail it off the glass and out. It'll be Taylor from Ike Capelli and Tho, and it does go in as a power play goal at 5:16 of the third. So 2 power play goals for Kalamazoo on that 5-on-3, and Justin Taylor has a power play goal in 4 consecutive games. 14:05 left in the third period. 2-1 Kalamazoo, a lengthy tie-up behind Jake Kiley's net, and they're letting him play. No whistle yet. It's still tied up and not moving anywhere on that back wall. It's been there for about 20 seconds. Finally, it's freed. Komets come away with it behind the net. Right circle, Taylor Ross. Fans on the shot. Lost an edge. Pushed up the left wing by Schmidt. Taylor Ross gets it back. Down in behind the cage, it's done. To the right wing, Kovacs. Clears it ahead for Adam Dauda, who skates up the right wing and out. Kalamazoo is changing. Dauda dumps it in behind the Fort Wayne net. 13 and a half minutes left here in the third period. It's 2-1 Kalamazoo with 2 power play goals here in the third on that 5-on-3. Brought in by A.J. Jenks. A backhander and a save made by Kiley. Jenks gets it back from the corner and threw it ahead. Left circle, a shot's fired wide by Gallipo. Here's Doherty at the right point. Doherty will sweep it down in behind the net for Matthew Bowdens. His pass for Petruzzelli was broken up. Tries again. The second one's broken up by Catalyst. Now in the corner, Petruzzelli and Catalyst dig for it. Bowdens comes over to help, challenged by Tho. The battle continues. It comes up to the half wall for Jenks and to the line for Gallipo. Kalamazoo unable to clear, though. It's Jenks. Left wing half wall, winds and fires. Kick save made by Kiley with the left pad. And Aaron Tho will escape as he leads it to center for Blaney. Into the offensive zone, out of the reach of Sadaway. Catches up to it in the corner. Shovels it for Blaney behind the net. He kicks it onto his tape right circle. Tried to center, and it's batted just wide by Wilson. Sadaway in the corner. Behind the cage for Diamond Tony. He's challenged by Sidlowski. Diamond Tony checked in the corner boards. Coming over to help is Justin Taylor. He has the go-ahead goal. Finds Diamond Tony on the cycle. Diamond Tony tries to play it to the line, but chases Wilson all the way back down and in behind the Kalamazoo net. Lazarchuk in hot pursuit. Wilson escapes. Starts up the right wing. Onto the stick of Taylor, deflected into the Komets zone, and Bryson Martin's cross-ice pass misses Sidlowski as Wilson got in the way. Edmondson angles it off the right wing boards. Good pressure by Martin, but it's turned back over. Here's Garrett Ross into the offensive zone, drops it for Ike Capelli. Stick handles to that, back to Ross, and Ferguson knocked it away with the paddle of his stick. What a play by the Komets goaltender. Fort Wayne with it again. Bryson Martin out to center ice. On the left wing, misses on this pass, and this will go all the way down for a Komets icing, and it'll bring everything in front of Ferguson with 11:52 left in the third period. 2-1 Kalamazoo. 2 goals here in the third period, less than a minute apart. Matty Ike Capelli at 4:23, Justin Taylor at 5:16. Ike Capelli's was unassisted. Taylor's from Ike Capelli and Tho. And the face-off will be to the right of Dylan Ferguson. Adam Dauda on the draw. He's chased, though, and Sandler will come in to face McKenzie. They tie up right at the dot. And it's finally freed, and Jason Binkley will lead it up the right wing, but it's held in by Kovacs. Here's Sandler, rips a wrist shot. Save made Ferguson, but the rebound's played to the line. Held in by Corey Dunn at the half wall. His shot goes off a body in front. That was Sandler as it went wide of the cage. Now Kovacs in the corner, breaks free. Kovacs behind the net. Kovacs will circle into the right circle now. Up to the point, Connor Schmidt rips a shot through a screen, and a save by Ferguson, who never saw it as Sandler was hovering over it. Batted out to center, and Bayless chases back into the Kalamazoo zone. Sharp angle shot, glove save Kiley, and he will drop it off at the side of his net as the Komets change. Carried back to center ice by Dauda. Chips it to the Fort Wayne line and follows it into the offensive zone. Kalamazoo working on a line change. Fort Wayne circles their net. Up the right wing for San Vito. Turned over to Sadaway, who shoots it right back in. It's gloved by Ferguson, who drops it off for Stewart. He angles it off the back wall, D to D, and Haas plays it up the middle now to center for Taylor Ross. Taylor Ross into the offensive zone. Tries to dangle, comes to the net, and his shot is deflected wide as Tho got back into the play. Tho knocked it off the stick of Ross, but what a terrific move. If Ross was going to convert on that one, it would have been a highlight-type goal. Instead, the play continues in the corner. Jermaine Lowen battling with Blaney. Lowen breaks free. His pass, though, was in the skates of San Vito. Lowen kicks it back into the circle. It's intercepted by Catalyst with 10.5 to play here in the third period. Catalyst lobs it down into the Fort Wayne zone. No icing. Haas is heckled by Diamond Tony. Haas stays with it. Diamond Tony leads it to the line, but it hops out to center, and Edmondson will regroup there. 10:18 left here in the third period. Kalamazoo leading 2-1 on the 2 power play goals from Ike Capelli and Taylor. Taylor back onto the ice. along with Ikapelli and Ross. Fort Wayne's got it in their own zone. Kyle Haas with the puck. Haas directing traffic. 2 forecheckers in tight for Kalamazoo. Haas will wrap it around the boards out to center looking for Bowdens. Picked off by Wilson and saucered back to Edmondson. Up the left wing now. Taylor redirects it into the Fort Wayne zone. Ferguson behind his net will play it. Over to the right wing boards, it's Ikapelli. He'll cycle it down low for Ross. It caught the dasher boards and then scooped up by Jenks, who leads it up the middle of the ice for Petruzzelli. Petruzzelli throws it into the Kalamazoo zone. Bowdens chases after it with Wilson. They go in after it in the corner. Wilson knocks it free for Garrett Ross. And Ross slowly works his way up the right wing and out to center. And now shovels it down into the Fort Wayne zone. 9:22 left here in the third period. 2-1 Kalamazoo in front. Gallipo will go coast to coast with it into the Kalamazoo zone. Lost it in the skates of Catalyst. And Catalyst lifts it back out. Off the stick of McKenzie, but scooped up by Sadoway in the offensive zone. Sadoway wraps it in around the Fort Wayne net. Diamond Tony chases. Sidlowski's there first. They collide in the corner. Gallipo steps up to help. And now Sidlowski will come away with it. Heckled by Diamond Tony. Sidlowski banks it off the glass and out to center. Scooped up by Catalyst. Onto the tape of Diamond Tony, cutting into the Fort Wayne zone. Diamond Tony at the right point, chips it into the corner. Sadoway hustles after it. Sadoway kicks it free, shovels it up towards the point. Sadoway stays with it at the blue line, drops it into the corner for Blaney. Blaney spins away from Gallipo. Blaney on the right wing wall up to the point, reverses it for Catalyst. Catalyst in tight now in the corner. Finds Diamond Tony, right circle, and he fires a shot wide. Stick side of Ferguson. Here's Blaney. Back in the middle now for Tho. Diamond Tony fires, and Ferguson makes the save. Here's Catalyst in tight in the corner. Reverses it for Aaron Tho. Tho backs up to the blue line. Winds up and shoots it wide intentionally as it bounces back into the face-off circle. Gallipo heckled. He'll rip it up the boards and out to center for Alan Lazarchuk. Lazarchuk into the offensive zone. Poke checked on the play nicely by Aaron Tho. Catalyst up the right wing, Diamond Tony. Cutting to the net, Sandler. Backhander and a save by Ferguson. 8 minutes left here in the third period. It's still 2-1 Kalamazoo. Fort Wayne up the right wing and out at Stephen Bayless. Bayless knocks it into the offensive corner, and Lowen chases after it with Dunn. Those two dig for it on the back wall. Lowen gets it free. On the right wing boards, Taylor Ross. Ross in the circle. Ross back to the half wall. Throws it into the left circle. A shot fought off by Kiley. On the shot from Bayless, it caught him up high in the helmet, and the puck comes back out to center. Here's Ross again. Taylor Ross for Fort Wayne at his own blue line. Swings it over to Bryson Martin back in his own zone. He backs up behind his net. 7:25 left here in the third period. It's still 2-1 Kalamazoo with 2 third-period goals scored less than a minute apart from Ikapelli and Taylor. Brought back ahead by A.J. Jenks. Left wing side into the Kalamazoo zone. Jenks goes wide into the corner. Jenks in behind the net. Lost the puck but has help from Lowen. Wraps it around the boards to the right point. Stewart fires. Toe save by Kiley. Now on the doorstep, it rolls into the crease, and Edmondson clears it out of harm's way. On the right wing side, it's lobbed out to center now by Kovacs as he takes a check from Lowen. And it's carried back in by Stewart, but offside at the Kalamazoo blue line. Timeout on the ice with 6:56 to play here in the third period. 2 goals from Ikapelli and Taylor have Kalamazoo in front. 2-1 with under 7 to play in regulation. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660 The Fan.
Wanted, weekend warriors, and recovering couch potatoes. Are you looking to lose weight or just want to improve your physical condition? Work smarter with high-tech fitness coaching from Athletic Mentors. Born out of our work with elite athletes, but designed for everyone, our metabolic testing and body composition ultrasound will put science on your side to optimize your workouts. Check out our packages at athleticmentors.com under functional fitness. athleticmentors.com.
When you need a job now, WSI Staffing can help. WSI has immediate work opportunities on all shifts for manufacturing, production, packaging, warehouse, and hospitality roles. You'll earn up to $15 an hour and get paid weekly. Puck yeah! Learn more and apply at WSItalent.com. Start working today and start earning a paycheck tomorrow. WSI. It's working perfectly.
Back here inside Wings Event Center in Kalamazoo, where the K-Wings lead the Fort Wayne Komets 2-1 with 6:56 remaining in the third period, presented by Athletic Mentors. In the second period, Anthony Petruzzelli gave Fort Wayne their lead. It was 1-0 at that point at 12:48 of the second. Second period was presented by Old Burdix and Old Burdix at Wings West. Petruzzelli's 4th goal of the year from A.J. Jenks and Taylor Doherty. but Kalamazoo has scored twice here in the third, less than a minute apart on a 5-on-3 power play and then a 5-on-4. Ikapelli unassisted at 4:23. Taylor from Ikapelli and Tho at 5:16. Face-off just outside the Kalamazoo zone. 6:56 to play. It goes all the way back into the Komets' end, and Olivier Gallipo will be the first to the puck as he wraps it around the boards. Right wing Petruzzelli. Anthony Petruzzelli scales it high off the glass and all the way into the Kalamazoo end. Bowden's hustles after it. Getting there first was Tho. Led up the left wing, Sadaway. Challenged by Petruzzelli. In the corner, centering pass does not make it to Jenks, cutting to the net. Catalyst broke it up. In behind the net, Catalyst over to the far corner. Jenks keeps it in deep. A.J. Jenks cycles it to the corner, intercepted by Catalyst, who saucers it across, deflected out by Sadaway, scooped up by Doherty, backing up to his own blue line and into his zone further. Doherty angles it off the right wing boards for Petruzzelli, back into the Kalamazoo end. Catalyst scoops it up with 6:15 to play. Catalyst launches it out to center, bounces onto the tape of Diamond Tony, who fires it the rest of the way down. Ferguson stops it behind his net, and Taylor closes in after it. This puck deflects up into the netting and out of play with 6:02 left here in the third period. Still 2-1 Kalamazoo. The shots are 38-28. Fort Wayne, which is 6 shots here in the third period. Kalamazoo with 11. Kalamazoo was outshot, though, 25-6 in the second period, and Fort Wayne had 1 goal on those 25 shots. Face-off to the left of Dylan Ferguson. Justin Taylor on the draw. To the left of Ferguson, it's won by McKenzie, but in the corner, the battle continues as Bryson Martin's wrapped up by Ikapelli. Ikapelli has help from Ross. Martin stays with it. Coming over to help is McKenzie, who knocks it free and has a little bit of room working up the middle. Sidlowski lifts it to center, angles it in for Lazarchuk, but this will be icing on Fort Wayne with 5:45 to play. Everything will come back down in front of Ferguson again. Kalamazoo will head to Fort Wayne tomorrow. Their third meeting at Memorial Coliseum, 5 o'clock start time in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Komets have won both meetings on home ice this year, 5-2 October 12th and 7-2 November 15th. Justin Taylor wins this faceoff. Wilson pump fakes and fires it in around the net for Ross. Garrett Ross now back to Ikapelli at the half wall. He'll throw it across the rink into the corner. Playing the carom was McKenzie, who leads it up the right wing and out for Sidlowski. Sidlowski dumps it into the Kalamazoo corner and chases after it with Edmondson. Edmondson got there first. McKenzie tries to find Sidlowski, but is tied up right now by Taylor, who lifts it out of the zone as it hops through the neutral zone and rolls on edge into the Fort Wayne end. They wave the icing as Martin gets back to retrieve. 5:15 left here in the third period. 2-1 Kalamazoo leading. Bryson Martin with the puck for the Komets. He'll throw it up the right wing for Lowen to center. Lowen wheels back across the middle. Carries it in now into the Kalamazoo zone. Top of the circle, rips a shot that sailed up high over the top of the net. Kyle Haas keeps it in, deflected up into the air as Sandler lost his stick on the play. Led up the left wing for Dauda. Dauda's unable to clear. Lowen skates into the right circle. Bouncing puck swatted wide. Lowen behind the net. Sandler still without his stick. Actually, no, he has a new twig now. His loose stick is in the high slot of the defensive zone. He got a new stick from the bench as it's pushed up the left wing and out to the line, but Dauda hasn't knocked off his stick and never cleared the zone. Taylor Ross skates into the high slot. He lost the edge. He kept the puck, though, and dumps it down in behind the net for Stephen Bayless, who's tripped up behind the net by Schmidt, and this is going to be called as Fort Wayne will go to the power play for the second time. Tripping is the call on Schmidt at 15:37 of the third. We have a timeout on the ice, but Kalamazoo leads 2-1, and a huge moment here as Fort Wayne will go to the power play for the second time, trailing by a goal. You're listening to K-Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan.
Ever wish you could visit Italy but just can't afford it? Don't worry. Jasper's Pizza and Fine Italian Food will be your tour guide as you go on a culinary tour of Italy. With the best ingredients shipped straight from Italy, Jasper's made-from-scratch sauces, pastas, and pizza won't disappoint. Jasper's, located at 5190 Gull Road, is the place to go for all your pizza and pasta needs. Jasper's has been in business since 1977 and still serving the great food today.
Make sure you stay up to date on what's happening with your Kalamazoo Wings during the team's 46th season by following us all year on social media. Like the Kalamazoo Wings hockey page on Facebook and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Kalamazoo Wings. Don't miss out on all the K-Wings breaking news, events, contests, prizes, and behind-the-scenes content. It's the year of the fan, so make your K-Wings moment today.
This is Coach Joel Martin, and you're listening to Kalamazoo Wings Hockey.
4:23 left in regulation. The Kalamazoo Wings lead 2-1, but the Fort Wayne Komets will go to the power play for the second time. Really the first time, because their first power play lasted 2 seconds. Connor Schmidt called for tripping at 15:37. The Komets have scored at least one power play goal in every game against Kalamazoo this year. They have 13 of them in 6 games, and they will get set up right away. Bryson Martin at the point. Jason Binkley fires. That's blocked in front. Now a shot. Save made by Kylie. Rebound, another save. Third try, they score, and the Komets tie it at 2 with 4:11 to play. Kylie made 2 pad saves, and Jason Binkley shot it under the crossbar and in. Binkley ties the game at 2. And it was 12 seconds into the power play. They have at least one power play goal in all 7 meetings with Kalamazoo this year. That was their 14th power play goal on 34 opportunities. They came into the game operating at 40% against the K-Wings on their power play. And that was a huge moment for the Komets, capitalizing on the Connor Schmidt tripping minor, as we are all square at 2 goals apiece with 4:11 to play in regulation. So now we're approaching a potential overtime here at Wings Event Center. Komets get a power play goal after Kalamazoo scored 2 power play goals earlier in the period. Matty Icapelli chases after it, feeds it in behind the Fort Wayne net. Justin Taylor's wrapped up by McKenzie. McKenzie escapes with the puck. 2-2 with under 4 minutes to play. McKenzie, left wing, brought in by Lazarchuk. He's ridden away by Wilson. Lazarchuk's pass up the right wing, taken away by Icapelli, who chips it to the line but not out. Now Edmondson has a chance to escape, and he'll just wheel out to center up the right wing. Ian Edmondson into the offensive zone. Edmondson fires just wide, stick side of Ferguson. As it's swatted back out to center by Sidlowski. This puck deflects off a Komet at their own blue line, and it's carried in by Dauda on the right wing, who shoots it over the top of the net. Binkley from Jenks and Petruzzelli at 15:49 was the scoring summary for Fort Wayne on the power play. Long headman pass brought in now by Justin Kovacs. Kovacs reverses it for Sandler. Sandler right circle towards the net and in behind. Sandler now pressured in the corner, cycles it for Dauda. Dauda out front, and he's forced back into the corners. It's knocked off his stick. Lowen now challenged as Schmidt stepped up from the point. Sandler working behind the net, but it's taken away by Haas, and he lifts it up the left wing. That's intercepted by Kovacs. Finally, Lowen's able to swat it out to the neutral zone, and Stewart crosses center and rips it in on goal as Kylie stops the puck, and he'll hang on to it. And the faceoff will be to his left as Schmidt shoves Lowen. Lowen went in after Kylie, and Schmidt didn't like it much. Lowen was standing in the Kalamazoo crease for quite some time, and Schmidt came barreling in and shoved Lowen on the play. I don't think there'll be any penalties out of this, but the faceoff will be to the left of Jake Kylie. 2:47 remaining in the third period. 2-2 the score. Shots are 41-29 Fort Wayne. We're in that time of regulation where you feel like the next goal is going to win it, whether it's in regulation or in overtime. Blaney on the draw goes up against Taylor Ross. Glove side of Kylie. Blaney wins it. Back behind the net is Aaron Tho. Tho chased by Lowen into the far corner. Lowen body slams Tho, but play continues. Now Tho bats it in around the net. Here's Catalyst. Leads it up the left wing for Sadaway, who skips it off the boards and out. And Bayless and Sadaway get into it a little bit on the near side, but the puck comes out to center in front of the Fort Wayne bench. Diamond Tony digging for it. It's in the skates right now of Doherty. 2:20 left here in the third period. Fort Wayne trying to get a line change, but they got to be careful not to have too many here with the battle going on in front of their own bench. The battle still continues as Sadaway and Lowen throwing a couple of jabs. And now Lowen checks Blaney, and they're finally going to whistle this one down. 2:07 left in the third period. And penalty box door open for Fort Wayne, but I don't think there's going to be a penalty here. They're just going to have a center ice face-off as everything settles down, and both teams will get a change. 2:07 left in this Central Division rivalry game. These two teams will meet again tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock, Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Komets trying to snap out of a 5-game skid. And Kalamazoo trying to continue their winning streak, which would be 4 in a row if they can close this one out. Kick back to the K-Wings blue line. Edmondson will circle up the right wing. Dumps it in around the Komets net as it's stopped by Ferguson. Barreling in after it was Ross. He has help from Taylor on the forecheck. It comes up the right wing though, and Bowdens will lift it out. And racing after it's Petruzzelli with Edmondson. It's swatted towards the net. Kiley covers quickly. And we'll have a face-off in the K-Wing zone to the left of Jake Kiley with 1:47 left here in the third. Kalamazoo has played 6 overtime games this year. They are 3-3 in overtime, if it gets to that point. Fort Wayne has played 9 overtime games this season. They are 5-4. Lots of experience in overtime. Neither team has made it to a shootout yet this year. With the new 7-minute overtimes that we talked about in our second intermission with Commissioner Ryan Creelan, it's kind of taken the shootout out of it for the most part and created some more excitement in that overtime period, but still regulation for another 1:35. Lazarchuk working behind the net, wrap around, and a kick save by Kiley as Wilson comes away with the puck for Kalamazoo. Ben Wilson starts up the right wing and out, crosses center and rips it in around the Fort Wayne net. Taylor chases after it with Binkley, and coming away with the puck is Sidlowski with 1:20 left here at Wings Event Center. Sidlowski stick handles into the offensive zone. It's fed up top for Martin. Shot down low for Sidlowski in the left corner. Sidlowski challenged by Diamond Tony. They continue to battle as the puck goes in behind the net. Lazarchuk and Tho. It's freed up, but now McKenzie's got it in the left corner. Up top, it's Gallipo who fires. That one's blocked on the play by Sadoway. Chipped up the left wing for Taylor. Led out to center, intercepted by McKenzie with under a minute to play here in the third. Brett McKenzie skates back into the Kalamazoo zone. Poke check by Catalyst, and it's taken away and brought out by Blaney. Catalyst took a shot at the end of that shift. Blaney now, right circle, cuts to the net, reverses for Sadoway, couldn't connect on the play. Though his shot's blocked by Lowen, and it trickles all the way back into the K-Wing zone as Kiley will slow it down before it reaches the corner. 30 seconds left here in the third period. Diamond Tony launches it out. It goes all the way down and wide of the net by about an inch, but it will be icing with 23.9 seconds remaining. And the face-off will come all the way back in front of Jake Kiley. A big defensive zone face-off coming up. Remember, Kalamazoo used their timeout to stop the bleeding in the second period when Fort Wayne scored their first goal. Fort Wayne does still have their timeout. A.J. Jenks, one of the best centermen in the ECHL, he'll come on to take this face-off against Kalamazoo's best, Kyle Blaney. Face-off to the right of Kiley. 23.9 seconds left in regulation. Blaney and Jenks on the draw. They drop the puck. Blaney wins it, and Wilson motors ahead out to center. 20 seconds left here in regulation. Wilson dumps it all the way down. Kalamazoo gets a change here late with 15 seconds to play. Fort Wayne up the right wing, Petruzzelli. Sweeps it down in behind the Kalamazoo net. It's Kiley. Kiley will play the puck over to the far corner. Picked off on the play by Jenks, but knocked off his stick. And it's shot back up to the line. Gallipo holds his own. 2 seconds left. A shot tipped, and a save by Kiley on the deflection with the right pad. But that one was dangerous as it redirected against the grain, and Kiley made the right pad save. So we will go to overtime. For the second time this year between Fort Wayne and Kalamazoo, the Komets won 6-5 in overtime back on November 9th here at Wings Event Center. And Kalamazoo will try to respond. They have not beaten Fort Wayne since October 23rd. Both teams will get a point in this game. Now the question is who will take away the 2 points. The game-winning goal that night, November 9th here at Wings Event Center was scored by Max Gottlieb for Fort Wayne. Gottlieb is currently called up to the Ontario Reign in the AHL. But he had the overtime goal that night for the Komets in the 6-5 win. It's 2-2, and the next goal will win it. As Kalamazoo's goals in the third period came from Matty Icapelli and Justin Taylor, less than a minute apart. And Fort Wayne's goal in the third period to tie the game late was scored on the power play by Jason Binkley. For Binkley, it was his third of the season. It was with 4:11 to play as Fort Wayne is 1 for 2 on the man advantage. Kalamazoo is 2 for 3. We'll skate 3-on-3. 7 minutes go up on the clock for overtime under the new rules. And how about that for poetic finish to this game? As we spoke with ECHL Commissioner Ryan Creelan in our second intermission and talked about how exciting the new 7-minute overtime has been, taking some of the shootout element out of the game. Now, of course, there are some fans that still love the shootout, but if you ask a lot of coaches and players and a lot of fans who enjoy seeing the game end with a full sheet of ice, this 3-on-3 overtime for 7 minutes has made a difference, it seems. Neither of these teams have made it to a shootout this year. Taylor, Ikapelli, and Catalyst are the 3 K-Wings. Petruzzelli, Jenks, and Bowdens are the 3 Komets. They have 3 forwards out there. Kalamazoo has 2 forwards and a defenseman. Face-off won by Taylor, but it's swatted all the way back into the Kalamazoo zone, and Petruzzelli in hot pursuit as Catalyst chips it for Ikapelli, who skates in behind his net. Matty Ikapelli was the hero 8 days ago in a 6-5 overtime win over Cincinnati with the game winner on a breakaway. He'll skate up the right wing with speed. Puts on the brakes in the offensive zone. Ikapelli centers for Taylor, fires, he scores! Justin Taylor with a rocket ends it early in overtime, and Kalamazoo extends their win streak to 4 games. That was quick, and it's Taylor's second overtime goal of the season, his second of the game, and Kalamazoo beats the Komets tonight 3-2. It'll be Taylor from Ikapelli who picks up a 3-point game, 21 seconds into overtime. We'll come back with our post-game show presented by CSM Group after this, but the K-Wings get their second win of the season over the Komets, who dropped their 6th straight. Kalamazoo wins their 4th straight, and it's Justin Taylor with a blast from the high slot, winning it 21 seconds into overtime. You're listening to Kalamazoo Wings Hockey on AM 1660, The Fan. CSM Group is a national project management company with roots in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Since 1983, CSM Group has been leading the construction industry with their extensive safety practices, planning, and execution of all sizes. CSM Group employs over 100 construction professionals and hosts operations in 26 states as well as in Canada. They have market-focused divisions in healthcare, food and beverage, industrial manufacturing, education, and corporate facilities. For all your project needs, be sure to call CSM Group at 269-746-5600.
Positivity. It's more than a saying. It's the driving force behind our health system. It's in our employees, our providers, our patients. It's in the choices we make to improve healthcare for you and the ways we work together to advance the health of our community. At Bronson, we live positivity because positivity is what inspires us to go above and beyond. Find out what it can do for you at bronsonpositivity.com or follow us on Facebook.
Do you want the opportunity to create great memories with your friends without being tied to specific dates or times? Check out the Kalamazoo Wings Flexi Plans. With 12, 24, and 36 packs available, you can pick which games you want to attend and who you want to attend the games with. Starting at just $183, Flexi Packs give you the perks while enjoying hockey on your own time. For more information, call the K-Wing